Boom, baby, let's go. Episode 50.
We're here.
Come on, man. Yo, make sure and check your shit's working though.
Yeah, I'm good.
It is good. Am I good?
Tapped in. Let's go,
Can
guys.
you turn me up a little bit?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 50. We're here.
We're here. We made it halfway.
Yeah.
Halfway to a Honda, baby.
That shit's crazy,
Yo,
bro.
check out Jack, man. Check this out. He got the cone.
He from Coney Island.
Yeah, right.
My
Big
guy
old
Jack.
cone. We got attacked on a run the other day, and a dog took a good chunk out of him. So we had to get him stitched up. He had to get some surgery.
It's Coney Island Jack is here with us. He's joining us today.
Big
We
old satellite
figured
dish.
we would just kick it back to the roots of how this thing all started. You guys know we do our Corporate Nightmares episodes, but
Yeah.
this isn't necessarily one of those. We just figured, fuck, I keep dropping shit. That we would go back to the basics. You know, we didn't need no big guests or whatever for episode 50. This is like how it all started. Episode 1. Shit's crazy.
Whew, yo, man. So let's go ahead and get into it, bro. Let's check this video out right here.
This first one?
This is it, episode 1, and let's tell a story about how this happened, bro.
This shit right here?
Yeah. So, what were we doing this day, bro? What was actually going on this day before we decided we made the old fuck it story happen?
I'm sure it was like probably just me bitching about like something not like being perfect or correct, and then
Was this on a weekend or was this after work one day?
I don't remember actually. I feel like it was more. It had to have been like a day after work or some shit, like some Solomon Shambles shit.
Some solid shit. Then, I don't remember what happened. We were in my kitchen for some reason, and then
Silence is quiet, bro.
Bro, I was butchering this, by the way. I was saying some dumbass quotes, like I was some philosopher or something.
You guys will be able to see on the screen. I'll play a little clip of episode 1 right now.
Silence is quiet, bro.
Silence is quiet.
Yeah,
But
I said silence is quiet. Something is noisy. Some wild shit.
Yeah, but at the time that shit sounded so poetic.
Yeah,
It's just
so
because
stoic.
we were dumb as shit. But it's like, it's so funny going back and looking at some of these pods and like seeing like, you know how like people say like you obviously progress as you go along, you get a lot better.
Yeah.
That is so true. If you go back and listen to some of these starting episodes, like for example today, at the time of this episode dropping, number 49 with Coach Dame will be live. Number 3, our third podcast we ever did with Coach Dame. Go back and listen to that podcast with Coach Dame because it's the same person. It'll make a little bit more sense. And then fast forward to episode 49 where we just talk to him again and just see like the sheer difference. Not only in like how we talk, but like the quality of the podcast. Like
Video.
yeah, we have video now. We have clips. Like we have. It's just, in my opinion, so much better.
We better prepared. We're more articulate now. You know, I think we were just going into it back then. I don't know what we were really like, what our process really was.
Yeah.
For like having a guest.
I don't remember. Like I remember preparing. Like I remember preparation for the pod. Like no. Like I actually, funnily enough, still have like the Google Doc from the first time we did a pod with Dame. But I don't know. I think I was more or less. You know how like we talk about like the preparation is really important because sometimes you'll get on the podcast, your brain will be folding on you or something, so the preparation really helps. I think that's what it was for me back then. I was so scared of like, and at the time I wasn't good. Like I wasn't really good at talking to people yet, so like my only tool was my preparation and like getting ready for those kinds of pods.
Yeah.
No way, my lighter's not gonna light my cigar.
I have a light downstairs.
I got a
If you want to pause it, we can
Cuba. Nah, I should be alright.
And then we went to episode 2. We had our first guest.
With Lil Cinco, shout out Lil Cinco. You're gonna call him at some point, all right?
Oh, I'm going to call Lil Cinco. Let's see if he answers. What is the over-under that Big 5 answers right now?
Cinco from the 5. I think he'll answer. For those of you guys watching at home, if you're not an OG, that sucks. But Lil Cinco was episode number 2. We plan to. We have this little feature on the Roadcaster. I'm not completely sure if we ever did it on the pod, but we can connect the phone to the Roadcaster and then just call people. So we're gonna give it a go. See if he answers. Big Cink's down in LA right now, putting the work in, which is very honorable.
What do you think?
He gotta answer. Subscribe if you think he's gonna answer. Subscribe right now. Uh-oh.
Yo, family.
Yo, Cinco, what are you doing, buddy?
It's Thursday, writing a little rhyme to you know what's going on.
Yo, you on the pod right now. Say what's up to the people.
I'm on the pod. What's up, people, man? 5-5, Cinco's back.
Yo, Cink,
dropping.
You still in the West Coast?
Nah, I'm back right now. Back on the East.
Back, baby, where the love at?
Where the love at? What's going on with you?
Yo, we're calling, bro. We're just recording our 50th episode right now. And we're just going back, reminiscing, feeling all nostalgic. And we got to talking about you. And we wanted to ask you, bro, like, what was your thought process like going into this podcast? Like, yo, these two kids, they started a podcast? What? Like, what were you thinking when you were coming on this show, bro?
I mean, to be fair, I knew you guys before, so you know what I'm saying? I knew you guys get busy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just excited, you know what I'm saying? I was excited you guys chose me to be on the first because then, I didn't drop music in a minute. So, like, for y'all to even still put me on there, it was love, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was excited.
What you have going on, though, man? What you been up to?
You know what I'm saying? Cat's out of the bag. Mixtape dropping 5/5. I'm waiting to get 50 comments on the IG to drop the name of the project. But man, it was a fun project to create. Man, it was all the way down in the West Coast. We went to a bunch of different spots, met a bunch of different cool people and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a project I definitely won't forget. And it's perfect timing, man. It's single from the 5 dropping on 5/5, and it just happened that way. So yeah.
Yo,
it was crazy, man.
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened to your psyche getting out of the small town and going and seeing the world a little bit? Did that source your creativity a little bit, or what do you think?
Oh, bro, I mean, you know the answer 1,000,000%. I mean, I think everybody should do it. I've done it before, but like this, it was just different. I was around a lot of crazy, talented people, probably more talented than me. I was learning a lot. I was in uncomfortable positions. But I don't know. I just learned to kind of trust. Everything worked out so perfectly. You know what I'm saying? So I would it kind of symbolize, you don't know what's on the other side, so you just got to try. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna work out. You know what I mean? So it was, of course, bro. Get out of the little small area. I'm sad I'm back, but I feel like I'm back for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I think I got to do it right this time. So yeah, definitely a different mindset coming back. But definitely, if you could get out there. I know some guys in this area doing that, and you could tell just their energy is different. So yeah, definitely.
Cool, man. That's dope. Project coming out 5/5. We're waiting for the name of it. Let us know. Let us know when it comes out, bro. We'll push it a whole ton. Jack's making
100%. This is about y'all though. This is your 50th. You know what I'm saying? Y'all. I know Kevin's popping bottles tonight. I know.
No, man. I cracked a cigar, brother. I'm not a big time drinker though. That's actually funny you said that. That was That was the first pot I ever drank on.
Yeah, you guys brought the Tito's.
Remember that?
Yeah. I brought a little something light. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on a whole different wave right now too. That's good. I see y'all locked in, and that's 50. What's the one thing I say you, DT? Most people don't make it past.
Episode 20, 21, something like that.
Double that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Come on, man.
So what have you guys learned through that experience? You know what I'm
saying? Bro, we learned
so much.
Kev, go ahead. Take the ropes, bro.
We were actually just talking about that, like just how far we actually came in terms of how shitty we were when we first started. Like we were just telling people to go back and watch some of these earlier episodes just to see like we hardly were able to conversate. We were hardly able to hold a conversation or do any of that. So like to see how far we came, and not only like personal development with being able to conversate and like be able to do that better, but also like with our production, with our behind the scenes, our work ethic, like all the work and time that we put in behind the scenes, like that's what really shined to me. Because we were sitting at my house earlier for like 3 hours straight, just grinding on this whole new rebranding that we're doing, which we'll get into later on in the pod, people. And but yeah, really just the whole personal and work ethic development, I think of this whole thing has been one of the coolest parts for me.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I mean, there's been development as young men for us too, I think, bro. Because think about it, we had to learn to be better with our schedules. We had to learn to be more disciplined and accountable with our time. We had to learn about, teamwork. Like you and I have really been like locked in, bro, since we were 0 years old, and we're like the way our chemistry is growing these last 12 months to a year is by far way more than it ever has like in the rest of our lives. Like I don't know, bro. It's just crazy.
We got something to work towards as a team now.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
No, it's gonna keep going though. That's the thing though. People that's what I realized. Like when I went to the Bay, like for me, like it's not just about the music. Like it's all about like my music grows as I grow as a person too. I try not to just be like just put it to music. And when I was in like the Bay, Silicon Valley or LA,
that's dope.
But mainly Silicon Valley, bro. The infrastructure, the way these kids are so smart at a young age, the sports they're in, the way they think, the way they talk, the way they act, the way the community talks to each other, and I was in San Diego, and I was lucky. I was just there for a day, but like you're sitting there having your coffee in the morning, you see a bunch of like active people. You see people, you know what I'm saying, talking to each other. There's no honking going on, no cursing. Like, it's just, you can kind of tell, like, the mindset that the people are in over there. And I think, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, there's a lot of growing to do, and it's good to kind of go somewhere else and see that, you know what I'm saying, you always got to keep growing, and it's good that you guys have that and brothers to keep, you know what I'm saying, each other accountable, because that's the only way to go up, real shit.
Yes, sir. Sing, we got to tap in soon, brother, but we're going to let you go. We got to get moving with this episode, but I appreciate you picking up the phone, too, and you know we're going to make this this announcement, too, when your project drops.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Stay tuned. Stay touched.
Of course, that's love. Congratulations again, you know what I'm saying, this is just the first of many, you know what I'm saying, but I could say I've been here since the start, so congrats, boys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you,
Keep working hard.
Love,
so,
bro.
Appreciate the call. Love. Dude.
Right.
Peace out, brother.
You already.
How cool is that, bro?
Yeah, that's sick. Shout out to Cinco again for, you know, taking initiative and taking that chance and betting on us. Like, that's like, while we were, like he was saying, we were already tapped in, you know, kind of prior to the whole podcast thing, and we had him on as our first guest. Like, if you guys go all the way back to episode 2, that's who you'll hear, Lil Cinco. That was the first guest we ever talked to. So I appreciate him taking that chance and that initiative and really just, you know, joining us that night. And it was crazy, bro.
It was fun, too, though. We had a good time, man.
I have vivid memories of that night. Like, we sat down. The pod was like, what was an hour and 26 minutes. Then we sat down for like another 2 hours just talking game. Remember we went to like Sheets after that? Yeah. It was like fucking like 1 a.m. And
yeah, we were freestyling in the car.
Yeah, chowing down and shit. Like, yeah, like that's crazy. That's insane to think. And that was all the way back in late May of 2022. Like, the pod's 1 year anniversary is almost coming up. It's April.
Yeah, we got to do something for that, bro.
Yeah, it's April 6th right now. So in a little over a month, I believe May 16th was the date. It'd be the podcast's birthday. We're going to have to do another little something like this.
Yeah, we got to do something like that, man. Do something fun. You know, go get some steaks or something. Go play some golf. Do something fun.
Yeah,
right?
Clink. That's what we're doing on Saturday with the boys. We're going to go hit the greens for the first time in a very long time. It's getting nice out in the Berry again, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But so, Cinco, that was a fun episode. And I think it was then, or maybe it was after episode 1, where you and I were in the car. We were at the gas station, and we were just like, yo, now we got to do this every week.
Yeah.
Like, we have to now have something to post that we're proud of every fucking week.
Yeah, which is harder than you guys actually think it is. Like, you get 7 days in a week, so and
you got to prepare. Like, you have to have things going forward. So it's like,
yeah, you talk about all the behind the scenes shit, like the shit that you guys don't even see or know or understand any of it. Like, you have to be able to maintain all of that. And on top of that, he and I still both work a day job. Yeah. On top of that, we got relationships and friends and whatever else that we got going on, family, this, that, and the third. And to be able to, like, for me, that's one of my biggest accomplishments is I haven't had many things in my life where I've ever been this committed and this consistent with. So, like, knowing that no matter what, I'm going to have an episode out every week. We've fumbled here and there. We've had to post some on Fridays or we've had to post some on Saturdays.
Been late or early or whatever.
Yeah, but it happens. And that basically what I'm getting at is you give yourself a 7-day window to do something like this. Like, it's a lot harder than you think. So that's like the one area in which I'll give myself a pat on the back. Well, we should give ourselves a pat on the back, which I don't do very often. And it's just, I think, consistency. And I know that that's like a theme we talk about very often in these podcasts or like even with guests. Just, I think one of the biggest things with any endeavor like this is just consistency. Like, pick a day, pick a time, and just fucking post on that date and time every week or twice a week or 3 times a week. Whatever your schedule is, just set one and stick to it. It's a lot easier than you think it is.
But think about that as, like, think about how universal that truth is.
Yeah.
Like, we learned that through doing this podcast because before I started getting into this, right? You know, I was inconsistent with all the things that I felt I was passionate about.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be working out here and there. You know, I'd be going hard for a week, and then, you know, I did good last week, and I would chill or whatever else I had going on. I had, you know, a bunch of different business endeavors that you and I were into and dabbling with, but it was never nothing that we took seriously.
Part-time savagery.
So then we got into this, and it's like, oh, wait, we can't. Like, we put ourselves on the line.
Yeah.
We went right to the edge like Mrs. Huxtable.
Yeah.
And we put ourselves in a position where, like, yo, we got to show up.
Yeah.
And so by doing that, by putting the pressure on ourselves, I learned, and I know you learned, like, yo, we got to show up this way for everything that we care about, everything that we're passionate about, because otherwise we're doing a disservice to ourselves.
Yeah.
So I learned that through podcasting. Like, you got to be consistent with this. You got to put in time and energy and effort to it so that I can grow. And that bro, that translated and manifested into a ton of different passions in my life. Like jiu-jitsu. I know I got to be there every week because if I'm not, people I was beating up are now beating me up, and I've experienced that. The same thing with running. I'm about to run a fucking 31-mile ultra race.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I know if I don't put the work in, if I'm not consistent about my training, I won't be able to perform that way. Same thing with working out and lifting weights. Like how long have you been saying, I want to stop being a heavier kid?
Yeah, for fucking ever since I was in like 7th, 8th grade.
How long has that been something in the back of your mind? Like, yo, I got to figure this out.
Bro, for I mean, at some point, I think you just get like, I don't want to say okay with it because it's never like something you're just okay with. Like, it's definitely a self-conscious trait, so it's always in the back of your mind. I would say probably it would have had to have been a little over 5 years. Like, that I was thinking about that kind of shit, and then it finally took, and I'm not gonna lie, like, this might sound crazy, but like what really made me decide to start taking my personal like wellness, well-being, mental health, physical health, all that shit very serious was this podcast. That's the beauty of it. It was like doing that and finding that I can be great and be consistent and be successful at doing something made me realize that I can apply that same energy, love, and passion into everything else that I do.
Right.
So like exactly like you were saying, showing up to the gym, taking that initiative, making sure I'm in here at least 4 times a week, 5 times a week, whatever. We're gonna get there. Sauna every day. Every time I step foot in the gym, I go in the sauna. Like consistency. We were talking about like if you're gonna do something, give it your all. Like if you're gonna show up, if you're gonna do this, if I'm gonna say, if I'm gonna press start and I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna do it to the level that I know I can do it, because I don't even think we scratched the surface of our full potential and what we can achieve yet.
Nah, man.
So like this is like the stepping stones. We're building the blocks and the foundations right now, and I'm proving to myself every day that more and more shit that I did not think was possible months or years ago is way more possible than you think. You just have to like lock it in. You have to realize like this is what I want to fucking do. You know what I mean?
I think the realization was just this. Oh, consistency takes being uncomfortable. Oh, consistency is hard. Oh, consistency requires me to continually adapt. Yeah. This is what I have to do to be consistent. Okay, roger that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not easy to go to the gym every week, 5 times a week.
No, it's not.
And holding yourself accountable to that. But
it takes a lot of time.
You know, some days going to the gym is going to be like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm ready to put up, 225. I'm ready to do this, that, and the third. But then there's other days where, work was a pain in the ass. And your relationships aren't doing too well right now. Yeah. But you hold yourself accountable. But you committed to being consistent towards something that, in the grand scheme and above and beyond all of your feelings, you're passionate about. Yeah. So showing up on days that you might not be the most, energetic. Yeah. Or showing up on days that you might not be fully there or might not be fully able to give it your 100%. Yeah. That's what I think consistency really is about. Yeah. It's like giving your best and understanding that your best is different on different days.
And showing up regardless.
I'm
going to fucking do this regardless of how I feel, whether I don't want to do it today or how many fucking Wednesdays or Thursdays or any day of the week was there some shit that we had to do, whether it was side business wise or personally, or that had to do with the podcast, or you're like, fuck, bro, I can't do this right now. Like I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so busy. We've been talking about that so much recently, especially over this last week or so, because if only you guys could see the fucking, literally I have a note with my phone called War Itinerary. Bang, you can see what I'm talking about right here. It's just all the shit that we have to do over the next week or two before we go to Dallas, and like all the shit that we have to get ready, and it is not easy. Like, but even on days where you feel shitty or you wake up, you're tired, you're a little more tired today, you're hungry, you got to do this, you got to do that, still just finding a way to get it done.
Yeah, bro, we sat in the car or sat in the back janitor closet or wherever we are, and we're like, all right, here's the plan. Yeah. All right, 1:30, go home, separate, eat. We got 45 minutes. Then we link up, get together, go to the gym for an hour and 30 minutes. When we get back from the gym, we have to start preparing, and then at 6 o'clock we're recording. Yeah. And we've stuck to that shit. And we went down the entire list and did what we had to do. On days that, bro, we were both tired. Yeah. We were both up at, 7, 8.
I'm going to try to make myself work in this podcast, too. I'm going to try to put a picture or video right here, what he's talking about, of us sitting in that back room closet at a school we used to work at together, like right before this whole podcast started. Like, here, hold on 1 second.
What, you got the notebook?
No, well, that's a pretty cool thing, too, but we were taking videos. We were taking videos on this. It was that we have 2 of them, so I don't know which one it is.
I have the videos if you want to post the videos.
Yeah.
Like some screenshots.
Do you still have them?
Yes,
That's what I was talking about. So
I
here's
do have
another
them,
flag
I
for
think.
that. But yeah, this little fucking like $10 like selfie stick gimbal thing from Amazon. Like we bought this thing, and I remember like sitting in my backyard and like rigging my phone up on this thing here, just right in front of me, and it like just talking into it, trying to get better at this whole thing, like conversating, and that like. To me, those were times like I'll never forget because there was a lot of development there. I know I talk about it frequently on the pod, but prior to this whole thing, yeah, it's so sick, bro. You got to send me these. These are the exact videos I'm talking about. So definitely send me those, and I'll get some up here. But, fuck, I lost my train of thought when you showed me that. Oh, no, the personal development, and like I was saying, I know I talk about this often, but like prior to this whole pod, like I was not that kind of guy. Like I was not the talker. I wasn't the guy that was like good at communicating. I wasn't the conversationalist unless I was around people that I really liked or I really like clicked with. That's like the classic cliche of like I am I'm only open or talkative around the people that I care about or like that. It's that classic cliche, but that was me. So like I had to sit out there in my backyard with this little fucking thing and just sit here and over just take videos of myself like what's going on, people like just trying to like figure out my voice and trying to like get it right. I don't know how to explain it, but those were the days. And I remember like the very day this shit came in, you walked to my house with Jack. We were sitting outside in front of my house playing with
I have those pictures too.
And then that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then like it was like the day after a day or two after we were like, it was that day where we recorded those videos, and then we were like riding home from Solomon. We were like taking videos of like us out the car window and shit, and we were just like putting it like in the front of the car, like on the dash, just like recording little videos of ourselves. And that was like us just trying to learn the ropes, like trying to figure this whole thing out, which is, I don't know, it's gnarly to think about that.
It is wild. Let's keep moving though. Let's see, number 3 we did Dame. We just talked about Dame.
Yeah.
So we just had a podcast with Dame.
Yeah, that podcast is live now and it's doing very well. Number 49.
Who knows how much more we're going to do with that guy, man. I'm excited to see what the future has in store for him too, because go watch our most recent podcast with Dame and you'll see he has a lot going on right now. He's trying to build a lot of stuff and he's contributing a lot to our community, which is amazing. So shout out to Dame, man, and you can just see if you compare the 2 videos how we leveled up, how the production is leveled up. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know if we ever give like a whole lot of backstory as to like how we picked these people or like why we picked certain people that we picked or like who they are and what they mean to us. But Coach Dame for me was a football coach that I've had ever since I was in like 8th grade playing freshman football. That was my first year being on a team that Coach Dame was coaching, and then like my 9th grade year, my 10th grade year, he was there for all of that. And Dame was one of those people that like really was like, I wasn't like the greatest football player. Like I wasn't like somebody like was going D1, but like he took a chance and risked his spare time, like sending my highlight reels and like stuff like that to coaches and colleges across the nation. And he like really looks out for the community and really looks out for his players and his people, and he's just an all-around dope dude. But like for a little bit of added backstory as to why like somebody like Dame ended up on the pod, that's why. And somebody like Cinco, we just knew him for a long time and we knew he was doing cool things with music. So we bring on people that like we either click with very well or like we know have a really dope message or we know are doing something really cool. Or
I think it's intuitive.
Yeah.
You know, when we think about getting somebody on the pod, we're like, we got to do that.
It's like a feeling.
Yeah, and because we know, like, I don't know if we could yet, like, explain what our idea of a go-getter is. I think it's still developing.
That's a good point.
You know, but it's kind of like a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you, like, oh, would X be valid on the pod? Like, X person be valid on the pod?
By the way, X, you're not valid, bro.
Yeah, no,
you're not valid. Go get your grades up.
Yeah, go get your grades up. But, like, if we're like, so-and-so hit us up to come on the pod, like, I don't know. Like, maybe I don't know. Maybe it is intuition, like he's saying. I don't know. You just get a feeling. But then some people, it's like, oh, yeah, like, they're doing some cool shit. Like, oh, that guy is like an outdoor guy. Like, he goes hiking and camping, but on the side, he's a scientist, and he fucks with, like, he works at a zoo or, like...
How about the gamer we're about to have on the pod?
Yeah, like, that's a really cool... That's a cool little sneak peek.
That was a no-brainer. When we heard about him, bro, it's like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, and especially because of, like, the field in which he's working, and it's something that's really relatable to us, and it's very, like, applicable to, like, I think the coolest part about like what that guy does is the training aspect and trying to like perfect training and like doing those kinds of things. Can't give away too much.
Not give away too much now.
But yeah, that'll be a future episode on the pod, probably within the 50s. So yeah, stay tuned for that pod. That's going to be when we come back from Dallas. I don't know how much we've even talked about all of the podcasts that we have to film. Not that we have to, but all the podcasts that we're filming in Dallas when we leave. And
hey, hold on, I got a question.
Huh?
Right now, when this drops, we're supposed to be in Dallas, right?
Yeah, we will be in Dallas actually filming a podcast with one of these people the moment this pod drops.
Yeehaw, motherfucker.
Yeah, yeehaw. Saddleback. We'll be down in fucking Dallas, Texas with good old Uncle Matt.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we'll be talking with Uncle Matt and then also 2 other bad motherfuckers from Dallas, Texas. And we're only going down there for 7 days. And this is like, in many ways, this trip is like the great reset, we keep calling it, because like we could really use like the time and the travel. We absolutely could. But at the same time, like we're going down there with our fucking ties on. Like it's still business. Like it's still like we're going down there to work. Like that's the consistency. And like on top of like speaking on consistency, the amount of work that we have to put in over these next couple of days to make sure this podcast and the following podcast is all good, all the clips and everything are ready. Like the preparation that we have to do just before we go, the preparation we have to do to get there and while we're there, and then the preparation we have to do when we get back. It's like the cycle is endless now. Like
it's all work, bro.
Yeah, like we literally.
It's all work.
There's no days off really anymore. Like we might get a casual Friday off or like whatever time to do this, time to do that. But for the most part, every day I get home from work, I get on my computer for 2 hours is grind time. Like especially now, because right now it's more important than ever.
Yeah, we're getting after it now, bro.
Which maybe we should talk about like the whole like rebrand. Like the whole like, because I think a lot of people have been curious about that, and like
we're still working on it. It's still in the works, but so far people have seen the new logo on YouTube, Instagram. It's all over our platforms, but we're rebranding. We're kind of trying to reposition ourselves in terms of our vibe, our feeling. We're trying to solidify ourselves as a brand. Yeah, and not for like any super particular reason. Like I love like the classic design. Like that flag, I'll probably forever want to keep around us or in the pot or in the studio somewhere. But that like classic logo that we made, I'm deeply in love with that logo, and like it holds a lot more value than just being a logo. But I think it comes to a certain point in time where we want to treat this whole empire, like we want to take this thing very far. So like, in terms of the versatility of that logo, there's not really much you can do with it. Like how I describe it, it's like it's words on a background, which I love the words, I love the background. That all holds tremendous amounts of value to me. But that's really hard to put on a piece of clothing, like a go-getter's hoodie. That's very hard to like, I don't know, just fit in all the things. And even making thumbnails on it is quite difficult. Like it might not look or feel or blend the right way that we want to. And that's like kind of part of the whole idea behind this rebrand is like, we want to give a feeling. Yeah. Give it come up with a logo. Give it like a feeling. Like when you see this, you know who we are. We want to make it sleeker. We're keeping the same color scheme of the blue and orange because it just sticks. But that, like, I don't know. It's cool. They could probably see it. I'll put a logo of our new logo. Bing! Right there. So you can see kind of what we're talking about. And we also want to start. We got our domain for just @theGoGetters. A page on Instagram that's kind of just been sitting dormant. We're finally kicking that into action. So if you're watching this right now, please go give the @GoGetters I think it's handle. The Go-Getters. Is it just the Go-Getters? I think it's the Go-Getters. So yeah, go follow the Go-Getters on Instagram. We'd greatly appreciate that. Help us get to 100 followers on that page. Because we want to blow that up. And we kind of want to use it as like a central hub to tie it in with the whole rebrand thing. We want to like theme and brand that page around everything we do, not just podcasts. Yeah, because it is the Go-Getters. All right, nice. So while the primary thing that we do right now is podcast, we have a lot of interests, opportunities, and things that we want to do outside of the podcast industry. So we want to use that page as like our brand's page. Like we'll post dope podcast moments on there. We'll post dope travel moments because, like we said, we have a lot of trips to go to all these different places across the world this year. Filming vlog style content or videos or just logs of us talking about where we're at and what we're doing, or Darrian has that ultra race that he was referring to coming up, like things like that, like basically just all over, like that encompasses everything we care about: fitness, travel, podcasting, just self-development, our giveaways, our community, like talking about and highlighting more about our guests. Like that's what we plan to use that page for. So if you're any at all interested in that, make sure to go give that a follow, because I think you guys will be very interested in what we'll have coming out and what we have in store for that page. But yeah, so craziness. Yeah. Number 4, we did Jake Schultz and Otis.
Yeah, you weren't even there for that
on
one.
conspiracy theories of Earth. Yeah, that was a wild episode. What was that about?
For those of you guys that don't know, that was the only podcast that Darren wasn't in ever. That was the only one. And bro, it was funny because I forget what happened that night.
Go ahead, click it, watch it.
I know something ended up. Hold on. Something ended up like coming up for Darren, so like he couldn't make it that night. And also, I'm still so fucking mad the podcast did that. If you go and check it out, our fourth episode with Jake and Otis Kopech, Jake Schultz and Otis Kopech. Shout out both of you guys. I love you guys.
Yo, we should call Jake too. I saw he just called.
Yeah, he did call me before. I don't call him on your phone because your phone's plugged up.
Okay, gotcha.
So here, we'll talk to Jake real quick.
Talk to Uncle Jake.
But yeah, Darren wasn't there for that pod. But it like chaptered the video on the bottom, and I love that. So I got to figure out how we could do that with podcasts going forward. That way you could skip to like specific parts that like you're really interested in hearing.
Yo, brother.
Jacob.
Yo, Jakey, buddy, what are you doing, bud?
What's up, guys? I'm at the house. We got home from work, guys.
Nah, bro, we are. I saw you called, brother. My fault. We're mid pod. We're actually filming episode 50 right now, like our 50th episode special.
Jake, we got you on the roadcaster right now.
Yeah, bro, you're on the roadcaster right now, so don't say nothing too wild. So that'll get you in trouble.
Jacob, if you had one message to tell the people about the GG Pod, what would it be?
About the GG Pod, like, subscribe, baby.
Subscribe,
Let's
baby.
go like and subscribe. You heard it here first. But what was up there, Jake? I'd imagine you were asking, or you were going to ask me something about the gym.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Do you want to go? When do you want to go?
That's a theme of the pod that we're talking about. I don't know. I probably won't be able to make it tonight because I have some stuff I have to do with my fam after this pod, and we just started rolling.
Oh, yeah. So we're talking about consistency here, right?
That's hilarious.
That is,
Yo, Kev, I'll go with
like,
you guys. If you want to sneak it in, we can go to the gym.
All right, bet. Yeah, let's try to figure it out then.
Yeah.
Jake, we will get in contact with you when this podcast is over. Then.
Hold up, bro.
Yo, bro, the reason I think, were you about to ask him about it? What?
No. Bro, I'm not going to lie. The podcast just says 709 subs. That shit has 711 now.
Whoa, that's cool. So
I swear to God.
we jumped on two. Yeah,
Shout out Jake, bro.
Shout out
Jake just got us 2 subs.
But yo, Jake, the reason.
What can I say? You know what I mean?
Bro, the reason we called you though is because we were like, part of like what we wanted to do cool for this episode was like go back and like talk about some of the funny moments or like episodes in which we did that. Obviously you featured on like fucking 100 episodes by now, but so like we can't talk to you about them all, but the one we were actually talking about currently was just number 4, where it was you, I, and Otis. Do you remember that?
Oh, in my basement, yeah.
Yeah, bro, stoned to the gills.
What were you guys talking about? Beetles or something?
It was like, bro,
cockroaches?
Yeah. Bro, still to this day, that was the most commented on like segment of an episode to date.
How many comments is that?
Dude, I was getting people reaching out about that.
Yeah.
Like 10 people reached out to me about that.
It wasn't just like comments on the YouTube channel. It was like actually people like just hitting me up on Snap like, what's going on with the cockroaches? And like, bro, it was so funny.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what were you guys talking about? Why did cockroaches come up?
Because we were talking about Myers High School and how the teachers used to tell you to not step on cockroaches because you'd bring the eggs home with you or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently that's
and
a myth.
we wanted to myth-bust that, yeah.
So yeah, we figured out that that was indeed a myth, right? That's how I remember that.
Yeah, no, that was. I think we came to the conclusion that it was in fact a myth.
That's hilarious.
Kev, what are the titles of the chapters that it decided to make?
Good question. Let's find out.
So let's see. We have
Let me just put
Chapter
this up
And there's here.
chapter 1.
We have there's cockroach,
Chapter 2.
praying mantis, hometown greasers.
Chapter 3 is hometown greasers.
Number 4 is falling out of a stall. Like Lord knows, like this was
What
so
the
long
fuck
ago,
are
I
you guys talking
completely forget what we were talking about.
5 is getting a security guard.
Yeah. 6 is alcohol. Number whatever we're on is police brutality. Like, bro, what the fuck are we talking about? Security
Getting
again.
after it, brother.
Did you guys tell the story about how Otis got police brutality?
Oh,
I think
that's
that
probably
is
what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what that's
He
all
got
about.
fatalitied by a Dollar General police officer.
Kmart, thank you very much.
Fish Hulk. There's one just called Fish Hulk. Like, bro, what? Abomination. Weather.
Can you click on Fish Hole? Can we listen to that really quick?
We have to. No, we
I don't know.
have to.
Yo, is this a Corporate Nightmares episode you're filming right now?
It's episode 50.
Kind of. It's like our 50th episode special. We don't know what we're going to
Ah, all right.
So yeah, we were just kind of like going back, reminiscing and like highlighting some of the podcast moments. But hold on, wait, is it
That's
playing?
tough.
What are we saying?
You're talking about Fish Hulk.
Why the fuck are you talking? Oh no, bro, there is a Fish Hulk. Hold on. Bing, there's like an actual picture of a Fish Hulk, and I think we were going around the table saying what character we think we would be from the Marvel movies, and I think we called Otis Fish Hulk for some reason.
That makes sense.
No idea why, but yeah, that just goes to show like we were young fried idiots at like 1 a.m. just talking shit on a podcast.
Yeah, that was a stupid ass podcast, but that was great.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. Do you remember the ones where but this is like GG backrooms? Like you guys will never see this stuff, but the episode that we did that was like 5 hours. Like all the pods we did before we ever started airing podcasts. Yeah, those are hilarious.
Those are in the void right now.
Yeah,
bro.
the void, the backrooms. You guys will never see those unless we hit a million subscribers. So get us to 1 million, and we might share those one day.
It's like the Wu-Tang album. Only like a few people has ever heard that shit before.
That's hilarious. But fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, bro. I guess we'll tap back in with you after this. We'll go get a clinging consistency. That was the theme. So we'll go get it in. We'll try to figure it out. And yeah, man, bro, it was nice talking to you. We fucking you guys know Jake's been on like 156 episodes. He was probably on the last. So there you go. You guys know Jake.
All right, Buck now, yeah.
All right, Jake. Peace out.
All right, fellas. Enjoy the rest of your filming.
All right.
You too. Let's go.
Word.
So there you go.
So then we got number 5, Jose Rivera and Giovanni Martinez.
Do you remember? I don't know if you know, but this was the first podcast we actually ever attempted to film. We actually tried filming it with Giovanni's camera, but bro, that's actually funny. Remember we were trying to figure out like all the podcasts that we tried filming for that like we couldn't get right for some reason, and we were trying to figure out like what was the last episode that we tried filming.
Yes.
It was number 5 with Jose and
see if you could scroll up. See if you can go
go down to the next
if you could scroll up from like 5 to maybe 10 or 9 or whatever.
All right, so
there you go.
So yeah, it was episode 5 with Giovanni and Jose. But do you remember, bro? This just made me think. Episode 6 with Walter Conahan.
Bro, the worst. Yeah, that was the worst.
It was because shout out Walter too, by the way.
Wonder what Walt Deasy's doing. I don't even know if I have his freaking contact information.
Yeah, Walter's all over the place. But we did that podcast with Walter, and we were using the same camera that Giovanni let us borrow. But the problem was like the camera only was able to record in 30-minute increments. So we literally,
bro, that was the worst.
Bro, we recorded for 30 minutes, probably super shitty. Then we went and like chilled for an hour while we waited for the camera. What? No, the camera died, didn't it?
Something, bro. We were like in between for like 3 hours.
Yeah, bro. It was so dumb. But think like a 1 hour and 12-minute podcast was probably recorded within the span of like 4 hours because it was like 25 minutes. The camera died. We had to go chill for like an hour, waited for the camera to recharge, came back in, recorded like another half hour. Then it died again. And then we had to like recharge it for like another half hour. And then we were just like, fuck it. Like Walter had to go home soon. So we were like, let's just fucking record, like finish out the 10 minutes, like our, what the fuck is that?
Giving Walt a call, see what happens.
Fuck is that on Snapchat?
I haven't talked, no, it's on Instagram. I haven't talked to Walt, bro, probably since that goddamn podcast. Walt, yo, what are you doing, you cocksucker?
I'm chilling at my old job now. I just quit.
Yo, guess what, Walt? You're on the Go Getters podcast right now. We're doing episode 50, and we just got to talking about you.
What's up, Walt?
Hey, what were we talking about?
So this is episode 50, so we're kind of reminiscent. We're a little nostalgic.
Yo, Walt, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's good, Kev? What's good, Kev?
What's happening? I didn't know you were on the FaceTime. I would have told you.
Hell yeah.
And we just got to talking, and I wanted to know, bro, what was your opinion and your feeling on the Go Getters podcast at that time? Fucking probably 10 months ago.
While I was on the podcast, I felt pretty comfortable on the mic, bro. Honestly, before I did that, I was thinking about shit that I should say.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, every time you plan on saying something, and you never do say what you plan on saying. Right. So I just kind of went off the dome, just said what I had to say. Nice. But like, it was very comfortable. I felt very comfortable being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
So, I have a little announcement for y'all.
Let's talk. What's up?
I have a little announcement. So close to 1 mil. Close.
Set you up right here. My bad.
No, you're good.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, kind of.
So, well, you can't see either of us now. We're here.
You get in here.
All right. You got it.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, we're close to 1 mil. We're about to hit 1 mil.
I'll get Walter to 1 mil right now on TikTok. Walter, what's your TikTok name? Just Walter. Walter.Conahan. Yeah. All right, go follow Walter.Conahan on TikTok. Get him to 1 mil.
But I'm moving back to Pennsylvania. I'm about to come see y'all, bro.
For real?
Wait, where are you at?
For real. I'm like Colorado right now, but I'm moving back.
That's sick.
Colorado Springs?
Not like maybe like 2 hours away from that, 3 hours away.
What are you doing? What are you up to in life right now, bro?
I was just making my money, bro. pretty much it.
Making some change, making some videos,
grinding on the content.
Yeah, bro. Content's been going pretty good, bro. Like, been getting a lot of connections in a lot more states. I have fans coming up to me now that notice me, recognize me. So.
That's so cool. Every time I go on TikTok to post one of our clips, bro, like one of the first videos I see is just a video from you. So every time I'm watching up to see what you're doing. But you've been consistent ever since we fucking met. So that's like
that's why. Like, bro, I see you guys on my For You page on Instagram all the time. The suggested, whatever it's called, doesn't matter what it's called, but I see you guys on there all the time. And I don't know if you guys keep up with the comments, but I do comment sometimes. And if you do see that.
Bro,
but like,
I saw that you commented that you've been grinding, but you've been working out a lot and that you wanted to get after it when you come back. We got to do that, bro. We were actually just talking to our friend Jake about going to the gym after this. When you come here, let's get a workout in.
That's great.
Well, I'm about to be there in 9 days. So.
Oh, really? Well, bro, that actually fucking sucks. We leave in almost exactly 9 days. We're going to Dallas, Texas for a week, but then we'll be back. We're going from the 12th to the 19th, so we're leaving in 6 days.
Okay. That's fine, bro, because I have a whole plan for my birthday and everything. About to be 21.
Let's
gonna do all that shit, bro. So it's going to be fun, bro. So, I mean, just hit me up when you're back then.
Say less, bro. I'm excited to tap back in with you, bro. Talk to you about, like, what your life's been like. Oh, fuck.
All right, brother Walt.
I'm telling you, bro. It's been crazy. I got a lot of stories for you.
All right, bro. Say less. We'll tap back. Just make sure to keep us posted when you get back. We'll definitely tap back in.
All right, I got you, bro. Subscribe to the Go Getters podcast. Let's go.
Let's go.
Get them up there. Get them up there. Let's go.
All right,
peace out, y'all.
Be good, bro.
Have a good one.
Peace.
There you guys go. That's honestly, like, the calling people worked out more smoothly than I thought it would. They might sound shitty. Apologies if, like, the people on the phone don't sound the greatest. It is phone call quality. I hope, like, the Roadcaster helps to sharpen that a little bit and make it a little bit more, like, just better to hear. But yeah, Walter Cunningham. That was, and we didn't even bring up, like, that actually, like, how horrible that episode was. But if you guys didn't hear, well, obviously you heard. Walter's approaching 1 million subscribers. When we had him on, if you can tell from the title of the last podcast, he just hit 500,000. So he's gained roughly another 500,000 followers in over a year, or a little under a year. So
that's insane, man.
Kudos to fucking Walt.
It's cool because TikTok's been trying to ban his ass multiple times.
Actually, shout out Walter too, because we didn't even mention this. Walter, I know we mentioned this on a prior podcast, but Walter fixed the laptop that I currently use to render all of our podcasts. So like, Walter is like, I call him all the time. He's like the real world, like, Iron Man, like Tony Stark. He can take any piece of technology, like, broken and whatever, and he'll figure out a way to fix it and get it back together and get it back to work. And he's like, is one of the weirdest combinations of skill sets I've ever seen in an individual.
Yeah, he's an odd duck.
Yeah. But it's like, I think it's just like due to his life situation, like how he grew up, how he came up, like in a weird area, and like, so really all he had time to do was just create content and edit things and fix things. And I think he said his dad wouldn't let him have a phone until he was like 16, so he used to just take broken iPhones, fix them, and then use the iPhone behind his dad's back or some shit like that. Like, that was the story of how that happened. So Walter's a fucking cool cat, though. That's really good to hear. I'm excited for him to come back.
Yeah, me too, bro. And then episode number 8, we did our first Go Getters podcast MMA watch party, UFC 276. That was our first one, right?
You skipped over 7. That was our first Corporate Nightmares.
Oh, yeah, we did do our first Corporate Nightmares.
Yeah, so our first Corporate Nightmares ever was episode number 7. And let me see, like, what the
I think I have a clip from that I wanted to bring up.
What's that, like, that we should put on the video? All right, send it to
me. Kev. Lydia just asked me if you wanted a burger.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
We got the Go-Getters. We got the Go-Getters chicken delivery on the last one. That shit was mad funny.
Okay, so for this one, I wanted you to pull up.
Fuck, I don't know where this piece of duct tape came from on the bottom of my shoe.
You were talking some shit. I think Corporate Nightmares 3136. That's what I wanted you to go to.
3136? Yeah. All right, let me flag that. Bing. Let's see, 31.
This was you talking some shit. I think it actually is very similar to the same shit we were just talking. And this is our first time we got together. Hold on. Can we turn this up a little bit or no?
Content tomorrow. It's
yes.
Gonna be shitty. Go back and watch episode 1 and come back and watch this episode right now and tell me this one's not way better. You're gonna have shitty content. You're gonna have shitty days. You're gonna have shitty workouts. You're gonna have shitty jobs.
We're like talking about the same shit.
You just gotta keep doing it. Keep getting consistent.
Literally the same conversation.
Just keep the ball rolling on whatever it is that you like doing. I think.
No doubt.
That's the key.
Yo, how would you define a go-getter, though?
Yeah. Same exact conversation. No. I was talking about that.
Oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, that's like exactly what we were just talking about.
Submit to the 9-to-5 lifestyle. Submit to not chasing their dreams and just kind of.
And back then, like episode 1, corporate nightmares, we were really fighting the corporate nightmares.
Yeah.
You remember those times?
You're excited about life. Like I think that's what it should be.
That's big. Do whatever makes you happy. If you
But
love
think about how
life
that
and you
rings
fucking
true
work
now,
at
bro.
Dunkin'
Like we got a
Donuts,
lot of
then
exciting
life.
shit coming up.
Yeah.
But hey,
I love life
we got more
than
work
some
too.
millionaires out there,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, not everybody
Yo,
has to be an
that's
entrepreneur.
crazy. And like, what? Oh, fuck.
There's such thing as entrepreneur.
What we titled that pod was like, so this is Corporate Nightmares 1. This is like, obviously for you guys that don't know, our Corporate Nightmares, we like to just discuss like more back end, behind the scenes stuff, like what we actually have going on behind scenes that are not just conversations with guests that we do. We titled this one, it was like, Go Getters Podcast coming soon to all platforms, which we for some reason haven't achieved yet, but we're on YouTube and Spotify. Those are like the two biggest ones anyways. And we want to go
Apple.
Huh?
We should get on
Yeah,
Apple.
we should get on Apple. It's like $7 or some shit like that.
Is
but-
it really now?
It's like $7 a year. You gotta pay like an
okay.
annual subscription or whatever. But we mainly wanted to grow our YouTube channel. That's like we pretty much funnel and focus everything through our YouTube channel, and then Spotify as well, because we know Spotify is huge for people that don't really care to just sit down and watch it, rather just listen to it on the go. Like I listen to all the podcasts I watch on Spotify, so I figured it'd be good to just be on Spotify. But like video pods and what's next, like we were talking about like. At that time, we were like little infants in this game. No video. Like, it's just a still background. Like, the same flag. But this
But
one's
black and
obviously,
white.
yeah, black and white for the Corporate Nightmares ones. Just a still background. And we were just fucking shooting the shit. And so, you were right.
Talking the same shit, too.
Yeah, literally
Like,
the same.
Trying to figure it out, bro.
And that same shit, like, reigns true today. Like, it's the same shit that we're still going through. Like, not much changes in a year, but at the same time, a whole lot has changed in a year. It's like the same ideas, the same mindset, but now we're just a little bit better at, like, what we do.
And then next we did Go Getters Podcast, MMA Watch Party, UFC 276.
Which ended up like really sticking. Same thing with the Corporate Nightmares. Like we ended up I have a whole lot of fun. I know like not everybody really enjoys watch because not everybody's in the UFC, so I get it. Not everybody's gonna want to watch our like MMA episodes or even the Corporate Nightmare ones because it's different. But those podcasts were some of my real favorites because one, we love the UFC. We talk about the UFC all the time. We love watching the UFC, and it's like just a little event, just another excuse to do a podcast and to get to sit down with our friends and just bullshit. Like, those are some of the best podcasts in my opinion, just being able to sit down and fuck around with your friends and not really have to, like, care about how much you prepare or structure the pod in any crazy way. Like, just sit down and have fun. That's what those pods are like.
We get some, I gotta find this video, bro. I had another video clip that I wanted to show for this exact. I don't know if it was for this episode, but actually, it wasn't for this episode. Ah, man, bro. One of, in my opinion, the funniest pod clips of all time.
Oh, boy. I think I know what you're talking about.
I can't find it, though.
That's hilarious.
Oh, no.
That's going to suck.
See, I found it, but I don't know if I have the timestamp.
Is it from that pod?
Yeah. No, not from this one. Not from this one.
Well, no, that pod has video, right? The one that I'm thinking, or the one that you're thinking of? So, yeah, that one's later on. Like, that was an NSFW pod, wasn't it? Or was it a UFC?
UFC pod. It was a UFC pod, but I got to find... If I can, I don't know. The Switzerland River Vibrations.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what it was though.
Young boy, what do you think? What do you think Hamza's coming out to? The Chechnya.
He's coming out to the
anthem?
fucking
Coming out to Mongolian throat singing.
the Switzerland river vibrations.
Bing! That if he sends me that, that'll be right here. I'm going to work on this pod.
I don't
I'm
know
being that
where-
bitch grinding like L from Death Note.
We're
Be
gonna
up here like
find
this.
And then there was, oh my god, then there's this one.
It's so funny because people who watch this have no idea.
No
what we're talking
fucking
about.
clue what we're talking about.
Oh,
They'll catch
she's
on
trying to get low
eventually.
with it?
Jargon.
That's kind of like the beginning of that.
Yeah, the beginning of the Martian Media jargon lingo.
That wasn't the one I was looking for though, bro.
Are you talking about the
Bring Jack in too.
Ooga Chaka? Is that what you talking about?
Yes, bro. That's what I'm looking for.
Ooga
I
Chaka.
have that clip,
Ooga
too.
Chaka.
Fat boy. Fat boy. Brian never looked at me the same after that. shit, dog.
Nah, Brian still he's Darrian to this day.
It's so funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you gotta give me all these things to put them
swear.
in the pod.
I don't know where that's at though.
That's the one thing that
Go ahead,
sucks
young
about
boy.
podcasts is some
wait.
shits just get lost in the timeline, lost in translation. We have like hours of podcasts now that I wonder if you calculated all of our podcasts up if we're over 100 hours
All right,
filmed
so-
yet.
The who?
You know the girl, you know, like the sorcerer girl that's bald.
Wait, what do you
the
think?
fuck was I
What do
talking
you think
sorcerer girl
Hamza's
that's
coming out
bald?
to?
So the
That's
Switzerland
com-
River Vibrations is Man, look at us doing work while we're on the pod.
I know.
I completely forgot we're on the pod. But, it's at 1:18:12.
Screenshot it and send it to me.
All right.
Bang! But that's the Ooga Chaka clip.
No,
that's
that's the river vibration.
That's the river vibration
Yeah.
clip. So that's
the
just
Ooga
hilarious.
chocolate clip I can't find for some reason.
If you find it, send it to me and I'll plug it right here.
All right, let me get focused back here.
But yeah, no, those are some hilarious. Those are like the clips that like made us realize like fuck, bro, we gotta start posting. Yeah, we gotta start posting clips because the clips do crazy. Like clips, I didn't understand the magnitude of clips prior to posting clips. But clips do so much better than everything else. They do so much better than the podcast. Like, they do so much better than everything. We could post a clip, and in, like, 10 minutes, that shit will have 1,000 views. Yeah. Like, just out of nowhere. Yeah. Snap your fingers, that shit got 1,000 views. Like, that's how many people are really just watching shorts at all random times of the day. Then we had, let me scroll down a little bit further.
What are we on number 9 here? Coach Ray.
So this is like when shit started to get interesting for us. Definitely.
We had our camera set up for this one.
Yeah, we had a camera set up for number 9 with Coach Ray and Chase Struther, but
we got these guests last minute too.
Yeah,
it was like the day of.
Yeah. So like we rigged the camera up. Shit didn't work. Actually, that was like the initial problem we had with the camera was like in the infant stages we couldn't find out how to get like. For those of you guys that are not familiar with this shit's gonna make no sense, but. Like the audio files from the mic / Rodecaster has its own separate audio file. So that's like one thing. Then the camera has a video file and an audio file. You have to use the camera and the video or the Rodecaster audio files to match them together so that you guys are hearing us real time as our mouths are moving. When we first started the pod and we first got the camera, we had no idea how to do that properly. And I remember like vividly searching that up for like 3 weeks straight every day trying to figure out why the fuck I couldn't get the audio and video to synchronize, and then we finally figured it out. But like back then, like we'd be talking, it'd be like a dubbed TV show. Like our voices would not even be correlating to the same movements our mouths were making. So
yeah,
that's why we recorded all those pods. But
that was a big struggle at first.
Yeah, that was just getting the camera. You would think once you have the camera, it's as simple as just plugging that motherfucker in and then you just have your product. But that's not how it works. Again, that's another one of those learning curves that we had to go through. And then the number 10 podcast with Coach James Delaney was actually our first video podcast ever, which is pretty crazy.
Put that picture right here.
Which one?
Of me, Coach, Gritalo, and Mike.
Oh, yeah,
Tough
yeah.
ass flick.
Bing! That is a fire ass flick. That's just like an album cover. NEP MMA Savagery.
Shout out to Coach James, brother. Teaching me jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Coach James is really cool. And he has a really like unique and cool story. Like he's not just your average guy that's doing jiu-jitsu. Like
stoic motherfucker, bro.
Really cool. Bad motherfucker, power lifter. But we don't need to get too far into it, but his story is crazy. I definitely recommend going back and watching that episode if you're interested to just like hear Coach James talk about like everything he had going on in his earlier years and how he transitioned and who he is. Because I think it's a beautiful story.
He's going to be in Dallas, I think, right after us.
Really?
I think
I saw for like a lifting competition.
Yeah, he might go stay with Matt, I think.
Really?
Spend some time with Matt.
Sick.
Yeah. But during that pod, too, remember how bad our windows were? And it was super
it was so bright. And
pull it up. Click it.
Well, I couldn't. I'd be forgetting I could do that. In this pod, though, it was hella funny because I'm like halfway out the frame the entire pod. You see? That shit's hilarious. And the window's bright as fuck. Coach James looks like Jesus right there. It's like, like the fucking.
You even got the beard like him too.
Yeah.
As far as like joint locks,
the bad company shirt.
Like, this isn't my job.
And we just got right into it. Like, started that shit like a Rogan
talking. We were talking.
Right. I can't be letting dudes break my arm. You know, like.
We finally got the audio correct for this pod.
My elbow for 2 months, not really recommended.
Which is crazy.
That's when you start. That's when, bro, the fucking self-consciousness started to come in. I was like, yo, why do I look like that? Or why am I doing this with my fingers?
Because at first you didn't have to give a fuck how you were dressing or how you looked or how your hair looked or anything like that. All you had to do was just go in the fucking studio and film. And so yeah, that's actually a good point that you bring up though, because like people don't realize that too. Is like you don't just hop behind a camera and like all of a sudden you're him. Like that's not how that shit works.
You gotta
learn
how to be behind the camera.
There's like there's a presence. Like there's a camera. Like when the camera's rolling, it's not as simple as you think it is of just talking. Like anybody out there that experiences self-consciousness or has had those kinds of feelings or thoughts, it's like that is so much more amplified when hundreds of people are watching your watching you, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just, that's a crazy feeling. So, like, I mean, we're at episode 50 now. Where I'm a lot more used to it now than I was. But at the time, bro, fuck, that was crazy. That's why, like what I was talking about earlier, me sitting in front of the camera in the early stages, that's why I had to do those kinds of things, because I was so nervous for the moment. I'm not going to lie, I don't know if you had that feeling, but I was almost nervous for the camera to get there. Because, like, I didn't want people to have to see us at first.
Yeah.
And then, like, slowly over time, it's like you kind of need the video pod. Like, that adds such an element to it that can't be captured with only audio. So, like, the camera's a necessity. And I'm very happy. We still only have fucking one camera. So by episode 100, guys, if we don't have the fucking little A10 mini with the multiple camera angles, you guys just got to smack one of us or something. I don't know what to do at that point, because...
We should figure that out. We should do something about that, bro. We got to fucking figure that out.
Take
bro.
initiative.
That's been like a...
Yeah.
a dream I wake up from every fucking night.
It's all just been money, bro. That's all it is. It's like, we're obviously, you guys know we're not fucking millionaires, so we're not millionaires yet. That's a good point. So... With that being said, we don't just have $800 every day to go blow on a camera. Like, it doesn't just work like that. Like, that's like part of where the consistency, the journey, and the grind comes back into play, is like just figuring these things out. Like, how the fuck we're going to get that next camera. So hopefully by then you'll be seeing a crisp image of me, crisp image of him, and then a crisp image of our guest, and then also the same wide shot that you guys are used to seeing. Because I don't think the wide shot... Oh, fuck, I'm throwing cigars. I don't think the wide shot needs to go anywhere. I like the wide shot, so... We'll just have more cameras. Hopefully by then we'll have Xavier in-house, just clicking, messing up the A10 Mini, and getting us back and forth. Yeah, gets it together, right?
What we got? Number 11 next. We got our guy Josh Snellator.
Yeah, Wavy Snellator. We were just talking about.
On the thrills of skydiving, raising over 35K. I would call his ass right now, but knowing Josh, he's probably fucking 35,000 feet in the air right now.
What's up? Yeah, doing some wild shit.
So
deep sea fishing or some shit.
Let him stay focused.
Yeah. But fucking
that was a dope episode though, bro.
I think
was a super fire episode. That was one of my favorite episodes.
Just because I think that was like a hump for us. Like once
pull that one up, because the visual of that one too, I really love too, man.
Really, I thought that one sucked. If we had the camera filter that we have on now back then, it would have been way better. But it was a cool setup though.
Yeah, the setup was fire.
And I remember, bro, I was like kind of in my bag because like I was.
Kevin's hype, bro. That's tough.
Yeah.
I'm alright.
So yeah, this shit's crazy, bro.
That you guys are here. We're gonna have a nice little conversation.
But that was at like 12 o'clock at night. You remember that?
That was like
so
cool.
Man, you
Fuck.
went skydiving today, right?
Look at that. We jumped right in by talking about the skydiving. Motherfucker just got off the plane.
What's the comments on that one say? I think there's a lot of like support on these spots.
I want to know like what it takes.
That one was pretty cool, man. Because this podcast was.
That seems like one
shout out Caleb Burns.
Yeah.
This podcast was the first one we did with somebody that we both didn't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think.
Prior to that, the only other conversation we had ever had with Josh Snow was when we pulled up. We actually went to one of their
open
warehouse sales, and we went and we chopped it up with Josh Snow, because at the time, like, what I heard he was doing was one of the coolest and unique things I've ever heard coming out of this area. Like buying a van, tricking it out, traveling across the country, helping to clean up beaches and raising money to like improve the environment and do those kinds of things. I thought the kid had a really cool message. So, but he was right though. At the time, like,
it was like we were talking to. He's like a local celebrity, bro.
Yeah.
Josh Snell's like, I knew his name ever since I was young and in high school.
Done like Wavy Snell stickers everywhere. Like, and honestly, I gotta admit, and I'm sure I did at the time, I didn't even really know who he was at that point. But the Save the Wave thing I've heard before. Like I knew I did at that time. So
I was nervous for that pod.
He had a really cool, unique message, and it was interesting because it was late. We had a lot of shit going on that day, and like he was saying, neither of us really even knew Snell at that point. But luckily, it turned out to be a banger episode and a banger guest. And we ran for an hour and 35 minutes, so it was definitely a good pod.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember right after we recorded that too? We were like, "Whoa!" Like it was almost as if we all had this weird connective moment at the end of that podcast.
Yeah,
remember that?
Like, bro, like I was saying, every time I think about that pod, I just remember like that was like a hump that we got over in the podcast where it felt like from there shit was real. Like shit, like we're really doing this. That was like episode 11. Like the first 10. Like we could have quit on episode 10. Like, the first 10, so what? But they were all bangers, but, like, episode 11, it's like, okay, like, we're really, like, we're still doing it. I don't know just why. For some reason, psychologically, I just remembered that being, like, oh, like, this shit's real. Like, that was, like, my welcome to the podcast game moment.
I share that, man, because I remember posting on my story, like, I was posting, like, us in the warehouse, and I was like, yeah, motherfuckers, we're really doing this. Like, this is real. And, like, I was almost kind of reassuring that to myself that this is, like, what we're doing.
I think
Gilbert Burns and Masvidal fight tomorrow. That's gonna be
yeah, I know that's gonna be a crazy fight. But yeah, that was one of our first travel pods, and definitely our first travel pod with video. So it was like going there and like seeing the warehouse and everything those guys were doing and what they had going on. It was so cool because I really plan to emulate that one day. Like I want to have a big ass GG compound or warehouse where we're tackling orders, we're handling our merch, we're handling our pods. We got our fucking gym, we got our cold plunge in our sauna. Like that's gonna be crazy.
Yo, it's cool too, man, because he's moved to New York and he's doing a whole ton of cool stuff right now. And I think what we're gonna try to do soon is follow in his footsteps and buy that van and make that shit happen.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of like one of the people. Snell is definitely one of the people we got that idea from. So we'll throw like a little wavy tag on there somewhere.
Got to, right?
Also, shout out my guy Mav. I hit you up, motherfucker. Come on, get back to me. We're trying to have you on the pod. Mav, research Mav on YouTube if you don't know who that is already. But he's somebody who like perfectly emulates at least why I want to get the van and do all that kind of shit. Because this guy like really lives just like a nomadic life where he just films and creates YouTube content, so you know it's possible. Even if you're remote, like in the middle of fucking woods, you could still get a YouTube video up every week. You know what I mean? So traveling everywhere. Like I think the most recent video I watched of his, it was like minivan camping in Japan, like during like a snowstorm or some shit. So he's just in the back of the van whipping up like the A1 Wagyu, like the fucking yeah.
That's actually crazy. I didn't know he posted content like that. That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, where he'll have his guests like send him food recommendations, like making his truck or his van. Like I said, he pulls out the thing, flips it over, puts like the burner on a john, the pans, like he gets to whipping it up. Like Mav's really a savage, so shout out Mav. But yeah, that podcast was crazy. But how about Greg Scrap, bro? Like you remember that day?
Dude,
like
that was a crazy day for me, man, because I was like super anxious that day.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I remember like feeling like I that was one of them pods where I felt like him, because I know like you guys don't probably, nobody probably knows where Scrap lives, or like
They probably shouldn't know.
yeah, they probably shouldn't. But I remember like going there, like having to get buzzed in, like carrying like the fucking like the mic stands and the equipment. It's like, bro, like we're really about to go talk to a fucking ex-NFL player that's like a legend in our area.
Yeah.
Like that shit was so crazy.
And then we got to the apartment, bro, and it's like tricked out.
Yeah,
the
like,
whole apartment is
some cool
the
shit.
condo. It wasn't an apartment; it was a freaking condo.
Yeah.
And it was tricked out, like jerseys all over the wall, huge bookshelf, like these big Marvel characters,
Hulk
all
statues
over the
everywhere.
house.
Remember, he like loves Hulk. If you go and like you watch that pod, you could see all that for yourself. You see what we're talking about. But that was another fucking sick pod. But I know what you mean. I remember it was like just being in that presence. It was like, it was hard. Like, I didn't even know like what to ask him. Like it was like kind of like I had talking to Greg Scrap before, like when I played for Myers, but it like wasn't like that. Like, we were talking to somebody who literally played against some of the legends of the NFL.
He
like,
was pulling out autographs, bro. Muhammad Ali,
and
Bo
insane.
Sanders, and all these crazy people. I think it was Marcus Allen, not Bo Sanders, but it was surreal. At that point, we talked to a legend, bro.
Yeah, literally.
And bro, the whole city knew what was up. Like that is when we started to make noise.
Yeah.
How many views did that have? Click that video if you will, please.
Let's see. We had.
That video had.
Boom.
Can't see.
Go get his podcast. We're here with a local legend,
549.
Greg Scrap. What's going on with you, big man? How you living?
Everything's well. Living fine.
So yeah, I mean, you guys can go back and see. You can see all the Hulk statues in the back, the bookshelves, his tricked out all his helmets in the back, the Raiders helmet, LSU helmet. Scrap's a cool dude. Scrap's definitely a cool dude.
Yeah.
The pocket. I mean, look at the fucking setup, bro. We just threw the Rodecaster on the table.
Yeah, see, like the quality looks good in this one.
Yeah.
This is one of the travel ones that we kind of figured out.
Because he had good, like, just white walls. Like, it wasn't too sunny outside. He didn't have an OD, bunch of windows. Like, that was, like, a backdrop in which it worked out very successfully. Want to know a funny side note, brother? You see them same shorts I'm wearing? Them shits used to be dumb tight on a kid. I put them shits on today because I wanted to wear them on Saturday when we go golfing, just like cargo shorts.
Yeah.
Them shits do not fit me. I put them on, they just fall off.
Awesome, Jenny Craig shit.
Bro, and it's funny enough, I believe I got those shorts from Malik, like mad long ago. Yeah, like Malik Robinson.
Yeah.
So fucking Malik Robinson is obviously a lot skinnier than I was, especially at that point. And those, if I'm getting this if I'm getting this thought right, they might just be mine, but I feel like I got those from Malik, and like they didn't fucking fit me at all this time, and now like they really don't fit me at all. I like have to put a belt on if I'm gonna wear those pants. So then we had Corporate Nightmares 2. So we were just continuing the same trend of the Corporate Nightmares pods. Then we had fucking Actually, that number 2, that was with Walter. That podcast was funny because we just got dressed up in our fucking corporate attire.
Well, that one's actually funny, bro. I was just watching that one when I was downstairs.
Fuck yeah, let me see. I'm gonna turn it down.
And we had suits on.
Corporate nightmares.
Look how blue it is.
Done by 5.
We were funny as shit with all of our button-ups on and our ties and our sunglasses.
What episode is this?
That is episode
12.
We're joined by
Suit and tie. This was real corporate.
the corporate affiliate. He's a part of the
So yeah, shout out to Walter again. He was the first guest to ever make a second appearance that early on.
Yeah, my guy. He helped us out a lot during that time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
He was helping us learn the ropes of like content creation, and like that's one of the reasons why I really fuck with Walter, because it seems like we just met each other at the right time. Like he was doing his shit and he was trying to get better, and we just started doing our shit and we were trying to get better. So at least he really helped us understand like the game of TikTok. Like at the time, like telling us like the ins and outs of it, like when we decided to get into it, like how it was gonna go. Like Walter's a cool kid.
Yeah, one day, man, like when we're on top of the world and he's on top of the world, we're gonna see him at like a fucking Oscar award, like doing some stupid shit. Probably with a crazy outfit on.
Yeah.
Doing TikTok dances and something.
You know, like Walter's really that guy. Like, when you think of like a TikToker, like with the crazy drip and like the fucking like the Jesus piece earrings and shit, the nose rings. Walter's just a crazy cat. Like, it's just getting crazy. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna make it through all these podcasts.
Yeah, no, we gotta start moving a little bit here.
So then we had
Josh Mason was surreal.
Bro, that's actually funny you brought that up, because remember like that conversation we had the other day, like about like how hard certain podcasts were at certain times, bro. I'll never forget, and I don't know why. I don't know what it was within me, but like I remember, like you guys can probably tell. I'm sure some people can probably tell. Sometimes like you obviously don't have good days all the time. You have off days here and there, but that pod, bro, like I was. Oh, look at that one, auto chapter 2. What the fuck? What's making it do that, bro?
Coach Base.
But yeah, we did a podcast with Josh Mason of Fame Strength, another legend in our area.
Yeah, man, that was for real. That was surreal for me, because he's been like a mentor of mine ever since I was a young kid. So, and we've had a million of these conversations, you know, behind closed doors without the cameras on. And it was cool to sit down with him in such a cool place like his gym. Yeah. And, you know, do it on camera.
What's the name of his podcast? Because shout out Josh Mason.
2 Down, 1 Over.
Yeah, he invited us over when that shit was in its infancy stages, just for like to try to get like our knowledge on like how we recorded and rendered and like what softwares we use. He invited us over to help him with that one day, and now I see he's posting that and is doing pretty well. So that's like really fucking good to hear. Like Josh Mason has his own podcast now.
He's a savage.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Shout out to the whole Mason family. They did so much for me. I don't know how I can ever repay them, bro. Like just the game that they've given me, and just the way that they were supportive of me when I was growing up. It's just crazy. So shout out to them.
Like I was getting at though, I don't know what it was like. And me and Darrian have talked about this plenty of times off camera. We don't got to get too deep into it. But some days, like, he and I just got some shit going on, or, like, some shit stewing in the head, or just something's off. Like, I don't know. It could be literally anything.
We're still figuring it out,
off days.
Yeah.
But in this pod, like, I just completely shut down. Like, it was like all that self-consciousness and, like, doubt that I had of myself just came flowing back to me for some reason. So, like, for you people that think, like, we just get behind a camera and talk and it's all fucking happy-go-lucky and it's always super easy. That's not the case. Like, I was like really down on myself in this pod for some reason. I don't remember why. Like, I don't remember what it was. And that's been a common theme for he and I both. We've shared that same feeling throughout even pods like recently.
That's true.
That like he and I just were either a little off or just shit was going on. So just for you people that think this shit is easy and you just get behind a camera, it's not. Like, it takes some learning, it takes some experience, it takes some getting better, it takes some gaining some confidence, it takes like team communication and team conversations to figure out some of these problems. And that's pretty deep. Like, you guys don't really get to see that kind of shit. So I figured I'd shine some light on that. Then next though, that was like, bro, I'm mad we didn't water this seed as much as we could have, because
the woodland seed.
Yeah. Because for a little while, I think, what did we only do 2 pods there?
Ada? This was chapter 2.
Bro, why are they all doing that now? What the fuck? Let me see. Are they just all going to be like that now? No, yours isn't. I love those chapters, bro. I want to figure out how that happens. But then we had episode 15. It was Chris, the Badger Gatalo.
Yeah, I was just with his ass, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, one day I'm going to take him out. He knows it, too. One day I'm taking you out, Chris Gatalo, and you know this. But
He's purple belt, right?
he's brown belt.
Oh,
He's
really?
a fucking dog.
Savage, yeah.
Not many people on this earth can fuck with Chris Cortallo. But I just want to say this. I wrote this down. I really appreciate this dude, bro.
Really?
Yeah, Chris Cortallo is a great teacher, and he's very, very willing to share his insight on what he knows. He's a true martial artist, and he's just a very, very interesting cat, in my opinion. And I don't think I've ever shared this with him, but I always thought, like, and I think to this day that he's just a really cool dude. Like, he's this dangerous guy. Like, he's such a fucking savage. Like, his ability to fight is just so, like, fine-tuned.
Yeah.
But he's also, into music and plants and nature, and he has like this real cool duality to him. That's why I fuck with the Badger, man. And he's a very good teacher, man. He teaches me a lot. He's a true knee bar specialist, brother.
Wasn't this like one of them episodes for you where you were feeling a little off?
Well, in the beginning, not so much, but then I don't know how it happens, but in the middle, I started to get like in my head
intrusive self-thought,
yeah.
Self-destructive thought. That's like how it always happens, even for me. So.
But I love that dude, man.
Yeah.
I love Chris Cortallo. I'm
what a pod.
grateful that I know him. I'm grateful that he's a coach of mine.
That was just a beautiful day, bro. Damn, I was a chunky motherfucker.
Look at you, motherfucker.
At least the arms still kind of look big, though, back then. That's good
Yeah.
to hear. That's good to see.
Yeah. But yeah, we could, well, I wonder, was that during the Cornfeld's reign that we were working with the
I don't remember. At that time, to be honest with you. But I do know, like, well, again, shout out to the Woodlands because they let us come there, free room, free, like, conference room to do our podcasts in, like, lighting. They give us water. You know what I'm saying? Like, they blessed up. So that was very dope. And then we also had Ada there. We'll get there later on in the pod. But we had another guest there that we did. That was at night. That was a really fun one, too. It was like a Saturday night. We actually just talked about that pod in the NSFW one because, we just talked about that pod because we missed the initial Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards fight because we were filming that one. And then we came back here after to just watch that. We ended up not filming for it. Right. So that's what happened there. And then
Yuri Cove. I think at this point, bro.
Go Getters Podcast.
I think at this point we started to get a feel for podcasting as an art.
What makes you say that?
I think before it was very chaotic and loose. Our format, like how we would go in, how we would introduce things, how we would, attach things and flow through conversation. Like I think it was very it wasn't very what's the word I'm thinking of?
Finely tuned.
Yeah, it wasn't finely tuned. It wasn't sequential. Like there wasn't any. I don't know how to explain it, but
I know what you mean.
This podcast to me felt like the beginning of a strategy to gearing the direction of a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the art of talking, the art of getting from one thing to the next, and doing it creatively and also expressively.
Yeah, it's funny because this is another one of those pods where I feel like I wasn't like fully present. Like I wasn't like fully like as good as I feel like I am now. Now I have like a newfound confidence when I think of like how to come into podcast. I just try to like treat my whole day like as a great day. I try to not like think about anything negatively, and then I just come in and just try to be energetic. Like that's like my new kind of formula. Like just be like me, like just me talking. Like that's just how I kind of do it now. I think part of like discovering who you are in the podcast realm and like talking is like you have to realize to not try to like emulate anything or try to be like anybody else or like try to structure your pod like anybody else's pod and just like go in there and be you. Like just talk like you're yourself. That's like my newfound like strategy into like me blossoming into a better conversator and like a better talker. Just like be me. Just fucking don't really hold anything back. If I want to say something, say it. If I feel a certain way about something, say it and just get it off my chest during the pod. Then we had the shambles. Fucking
the Value with the Heart.
The Value with the Heart pod. We did the podcast with the Value with the Heart benefits, which was like off the wall because we didn't even know at first like who we were talking to. Shout out to the Value with the Heart though. Like I love the benefit. I love what they're all about. I love the message. I love like everything about it. But it was just like that was such a weird day. It was just such an odd like off the wall.
Yeah, that was a weird podcast. It didn't even feel like a podcast.
Yeah,
it was odd.
Yeah, it was. But those are like again like learning experiences. Yeah. Like that's like what's kind of cool about this pod and like going back down memory lane is like realizing that like just, I don't know, like the whole journey of it, like how you get better each pod, or how you get worse, or the new knowledge you gain from each pod. I'm just gonna keep this shit up here so I don't have to keep reaching down.
Want to go to 18?
Yeah, let's go. Ah, fuck.
We gotta start moving here.
Yeah, we do. We're only an hour in though.
Oh, really?
Funnily enough, yeah.
Okay.
Then we had Ada. This is the pod that we were
First
just talking
intro?
about. Was it? Oh
think
yeah,
so.
It was. Yeah, it was. This was
Hey.
this was our first podcast with an intro, like the typical intro that
That's
you see
like an
everyone
aerial
sitting over
view.
there. Yeah. That's kind of like how this one's gonna be. Every time we have like a TV here, you guys are probably seeing like a little bit of a different setup here, but it's because the podcast that we do UFCs, and then this podcast specifically, we have a TV here, so we have to raise the camera and put it above the TV. But look how fucking bad the quality is, though. That's the shit that kills me. And then just the fucking go-getters flag, like, that's the back rooms. Imagine just...
Just slapped on the wall.
You took down a fucking painting and hung that shit there.
We did take down a painting.
That shit literally looked like the back rooms. Imagine just being in the back rooms and stumbling across the pot or the GG file. What?
I gotta take my hoodie off real quick.
Oh, shit!
Sorry, guys.
Flag it.
Flag it. Sorry, guys.
That's hilarious. Darren's got tripwired.
Woo! Here we go.
But yeah, that shit's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to the solo pod.
Huh?
I gotta take a piss real quick. You wanna
Go
pause
for
it?
Yeah, let's pause it. Whoa, and we're back, episode 50.
Boom. Alright, so
What? Who we got next? Whoa, Uncle Matt.
Uncle.
Uncle Matt.
We're about to go see his ass too,
I
son.
know, down in Dallas.
By the time this drops, we'll be down there. Getting right.
Yeah,
Recording.
shout out. This was a monumental day because, I mean, obviously Darrian knew Matt prior to this, but this kind of like locked in Matt as like one of the valuable members and like team players and just an overall great friend of like the Go-Getters. Well, our podcast in general made us our website. I'll never forget like the gift that he brought us that day, the books. Like
Yeah.
Matt is just like such a cool down to earth dude. For anybody who was graced with meeting Matt Sachs, you guys know that he's a great guy.
I forgot he told us he has like hundreds of NFTs, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Matt was like fucking dialed. Like I remember like back then Matt was like all into that shit. I wonder like where
he
his
probably still is.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably still is.
Matt's a man of many hats.
I can't wait to talk to his ass again. But yeah, shout out to Matt because he's the one that's letting us come down, live for free for a week in his house in Dallas. He's also I don't even know if I should spoil that part yet about the pods. Like
Let's not. Yeah, let's not spoil
let's
that.
we'll keep it a secret for now, but fucking yeah, that was a banger ass episode. Who we have next? Go Getters Podcast,
UFC.
MMA.
one is that?
Then we had the mayor, dog.
Oh man.
Remember
bro.
that?
This was a.
Oh, it chaptered that one too, bro. They're all starting to chapter a lot more now. I like that.
What happens? Let's hear this intro. Can you rerun that intro back?
Yeah.
'Cause we must have been hyped during this shit, bro.
We probably weren't. We probably just found out that the fucking last half hour of the pod was shot.
Oh yeah.
This week's episode, boom, what's going on, Go-Getters? This week's episode, we got the
How bad it looked.
in a headlock. Yeah, man, in this week's
In a
episode,
headlock.
we talked to George Brown, the mayor of Wilkes-Barre. We've been waiting to do this pod for a very long time. The video does cut out at about 32 minutes, but fortunately,
Damn.
stay tuned to the end of the pod.
You fumbled,
we're gonna
huh?
talk about
Yeah,
some
we did. We fumbled.
upcoming projects.
Again, a learning moment though. So like for you guys that don't already know, Darren and I wanted to get the mayor of our city on the podcast ever since Jump Street of the pod. Like
Yeah, we thought about like, yo, can we make that happen, bro? Like, what do you think? You think we can do that?
we thought like that was like having like fucking I was
President
like yeah
George Bush
on the pod. Yeah, like it was like one of those things that from the jump we were like, bro, like we got to do that. Like we got to like that was like a level. Like we know like we were doing something dope if we were able to get the mayor on the podcast, and it happened on episode 21. Like it actually happened, and then we fumbled the fucking we fumbled the bag. So we had our camera set up. Obviously, you guys are typically used to seeing, but what we didn't know is that about around 38 minutes of the pod, our SD card filled up storage. So the rest of the pod is just like how the first however many pods were, where it's just like a blank background.
Hanging with Joe Biden.
That's the worst pod we could have fumbled that shit.
I know.
The
That's
worst
how
pod.
it happens though.
Uh-huh.
That's how it happens though.
So-
Next thing you know, we're gonna be doing pods with fucking we're gonna be doing the presidential debate with Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
But watch this though.
Cut out.
Watch this though. Another learning curve. So this is obviously episode 21, Mayor George Brown, right?
Yeah.
You notice anything fucked up?
Oh, it says episode 18.
Yeah, so like there you
What
go.
the
Like,
fuck?
bunch of fucking idiots.
I didn't even know that.
Bro, I remember sitting at the high school, bro, when I was a fucking janitor. Like,
Yeah.
I remember having to bring this laptop with the fucking, that little hard drive that now has 1 mil written on it, bringing that to the school. You remember like sitting in the weight room, like I'm sitting with the little John there, like trying to render the videos and get them right, but this was one of them pods that I was working on, and I remember like, just like sitting there, like in my little like cubby hole, hiding away, trying to fucking duck into corporate nightmares, like really like try and render pods with the mayor. Like you gotta understand, by day, I was taking out garbage, dog. We were fucking janitors, like by day, and by night we're sitting down with the mayor of the city doing podcasts, like. Shit, like in my life at that point didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
Like
it still doesn't make
no
sense.
It doesn't. Because now we be teaching the youth and shit. Like what's going on?
This shit is really crazy.
Yeah, but still at the same time, like we're trying to run it the fuck up. Like this is like my primary passion. This is the shit that I want to blow up and I want to take very far. So we had our first podcast that hit well over. So there's actually a lot to talk about with this part.
Boom!
So
What is going on?
in episode 22, we had on Isaac Mensa, who you guys probably know. Shout out Isaac and Gem Kicks for everything that they've done for us and everything that they got going on right now. Because we had Isaac on and partnered up with Isaac to do our first ever giveaway for the launch of this episode, where he took it out like the kindness of his own heart to give away like $300 worth of free shoes. I forget how much it was, but to give away. We gave like $100 giveaway to somebody, or no, it was like $200. Then we gave a bunch of 25s, right, or some shit like that. So we did a big giveaway to win $200 worth of store credit at Gemini Kick Store to go buy shoes or whatever you want. And then he also just, out of the kindness of his own heart, did another 4 $25 giveaways. Go get yourself a tee, use it towards credits on a pair of shoes, whatever. And this pod went well over a G. This has 1.6 thousand views. This is the type of time we're trying to get back to. 70 likes. Look how many. 93 comments. Like
that was because of the giveaway.
Yeah,
I think that was one of the.
Yeah, definitely. But still, like that's the shit that I love seeing. Like I love seeing people that like fired up and that like.
That was fire.
That tapped in. So again, shout out Isaac and everything that we did and everything we have going forward, and just shout out Isaac for being dope.
Should I call Isaac?
Yeah, if you want to. I would, bro. I'm noticing too. I was just about to say that a lot of these pods are starting to chapter now. I don't know why, because just the other day it wasn't like this.
See what happens.
Yo.
Yo, Habibi.
What's up, baby?
Yo, Isaac, I got you live on our 50th podcast episode right now. We were just talking about you and the podcast that we did. And we just wanted to call you and say what's up. And just shout out your business real quick.
Hey, my man, I appreciate you.
Yeah. But,
I appreciate you.
All right, bro.
50 is crazy. 50 in 50 in what, 5 months?
Oh, man.
6 months?
We're almost a year, I think.
Yeah, we're like 10 months.
Wowza.
Like 10 months.
Them boys working.
Yeah, bro, we're trying to take it to the top.
No doubt.
We appreciate you, bro. You were our first episode to reach well over 1,000. And
wow.
Yeah, and we see you guys are doing big things too, so I just wanted to call, touch base with you, see how you were doing, and let you talk to the people real quick.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, people, get on the Go Getters. Go get on the Go Getters podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't slack. Nothing but champions produced through and through. Iron sharpens iron.
Yes,
You see
sir.
what them boys are doing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
it.
Hey, and you know Gemini Kicks is killing it too,
Yeah,
bro.
literally
killing it. So
One day, one step at a time.
yes, sir, bro. Isaac, I appreciate you, bro. Health, wealth, and abundance to you and your business and your
Yes,
family. I
sir.
thank you for coming on the podcast, episode number, what was it, 22? Yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate y'all, man. Have a good show.
All right,
You
Isaac.
too.
Peace.
All right. Bye.
So there we go. Yeah, guys. Fucking Isaac Mensa we had on 22. Then we had Neek and Nate on episode 23. Divine Hair Studios.
Yeah,
shout out to them.
Shout out to Nick and Nate.
Boom! What's
We
going
fun
on?
with the
Watch us
fucking
butcher this
bag.
video.
Talk to Mo.
Yeah, go back and just when you guys go, fucking whoever wants to, just go back, watch episode 23. Cause I mean it was a good conversation, but fuck, we really fumbled the camera.
I
Look
know.
at like
Camera's
my
gone.
my shirt.
Kevin's Boo Radley in this motherfucker.
All you can see is my fucking head, bro. The chair, my shorts, my shirt, and my lower body, like my legs and my arms, all blend together.
Yeah.
Like you can literally just see my hair. The lighting was so bad in this pod.
Yeah, we fumbled, bro.
But that's because, like, it's good for them, though, because, like, the way their store set up is, like, all their windows, people can see inside, obviously, what they're doing, and it's good natural lighting for, like, doing what they do. But for us, it fucking sucked, and we didn't take account into that, because this is just shit we didn't understand when we were young podcasters, like, how fucking important lighting was and how crazy that shit actually gets.
Yeah, shit got crazy. 24, man. Yo, this was a big one for me, bro.
Yeah, we had on Nikki Hutchinson, huh?
Yeah, bro. I was following this guy for a minute, and this guy was... What the hell?
I don't know.
This guy
Bing
was...
popped up.
Uh-oh. This guy was a big inspiration to me and his Instagram page and what he was able to do with his business and also how he travels and how he works remote. Super fire, bro. This guy is awesome.
This was also one of our... Or this was our only ever Zoom pod. That
We did
Fuck
do a
them
Zoom pod.
pods, bro. That was another one of them pods where I felt like a fucking just an oddball. I don't know. Look at, bro, it chaptered that one too. I don't know if like that's something with YouTube that's new, because I remember that when I first found out that it chaptered that Otis and Jake episode like that, I went back and looked at them all to see if any other ones did that, and not a single other one was like that. And we came across like 5 of them that are like that in this vid. So... that's actually dope to see. I really like that chapter feature. You can manually do it, but I don't like just manually plugging all that shit because I think it's just more natural if you just find it. But I like when YouTube auto does it. So like if there's anything specific in a podcast you want to see or go back to, it makes it easier.
Yeah, this was awesome, bro. That was a dope podcast. It's cool because this proved to me that with this platform that we're creating, we can create networks to us or from us to the people we look up to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this guy was a guy I really look up to, and it's crazy because I was talking to him. You know, I got a conversation. I got an opportunity to have a conversation with him. So
that was a good point though. Like that made it clear to us that like, we were able to reach out to like bad motherfuckers that we were really interested in, and not only that, people that like we admired for certain reasons, and they'd be willing to do it. Like somebody like him, he took a shot on us. So shout out Nick Hutchinson for fucking, taking that chance of coming on our show, not knowing what to expect really, and. He even tried helping make us a couple connections here and there, but just at the time, we just weren't ready for it. So definitely shout out Nick Hutchinson. That was a crazy pod. The Zoom pods were fucking nutty. I hate Zoom. Then we had another Corp Nightmares, Go Getters podcast, MMA show 25, 26. Then we had Mondo 27. That was
easy. Shout out Mondo.
This is a podcast I wish like we would have just been more on our P's and Q's for, because we pulled up.
Oh, the first ad. Look at that.
Yeah, check that out. YouTube placing fucking
Black
ads.
are trying to get their fucking 2 cents.
Oh my god, Vistaprint.
And Vistaprint. Shout out Vistaprint though.
For real?
Yeah. They got us a couple bucks here and there.
Oh yeah, they did.
Gotcha.
Like on Windows.
Got him.
Alright, so yeah, Mondo. The problem with this pod was like we had a really good conversation with Mondo, but we fucked the lighting up again. And not only that, it's like we both had things like arrangements that we had. I forget what we had going on that day, but there was something we had to get to, and there was something he had to get to.
He was going to a football game. I don't know what we had to go
We had another pod to film, I think. I think we filmed
did 2 a day.
Yeah,
That was a 2 a day. Yeah, we had a UFC that night, I think. Yeah.
And it was an early one, so we had to get like back early, because this pod we filmed this at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So that was like our first like early bird gets the worm pod. Me and Darren are both flanneled out.
Yep.
Fucking getting after it. But yeah, no, Mondo is still, even to this day, a good connection of ours. Mondo, he's great with his financial knowledge. He's a very wise guy. If you're looking for any financial service or financial planning, tap into Mondo Salavanti on IG. He's a really, really dope, down-to-earth guy. He's a grinder too. Loves fitness, loves working out. Savage, yeah.
Super savage.
Tap into Mondo for sure.
What was that? Go back to that last Corporate Nightmare episode.
Which one? This one?
War Room Trials.
War Room Talks, Trials and Tribulations.
What was this about?
And the future passion projects. I don't know. Good point. Crabby old Monday.
Crabby old Monday.
That shit's funny.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. Maybe, do you want to just keep going through these, or do you want to highlight some of the things that we had talked about or that we had written down? It probably only makes sense that we continue doing like what we've been doing, like just giving a shout out at least to the rest of the people that we did, because right after that, number 28, we had our first NSFW pod of all time, with Jake and Brian. Just fucking good vibes. Let me see. Yeah, sure. Was this the one that was this that crazy night? Hold on. Nah, this one was just for fun. Which one was the one that we did the night that all that shit happened with DeMar Hamlin? You remember that?
Oh
Like when we were at my house, we were watching that football. Well, I was watching a football game. You pulled up. We had an NSFW pod to film that night, but it was during all that crazy shit with DeMar Hamlin.
That might have been this one.
I know. I think it was the next one because I was wearing the Go Getters hoodie, the one that you were wearing before. Oh fuck. Oh wait. Yeah, damn it. I clicked off of it. Fuck me.
That was a fun one though.
Yeah, no, it was. Fucking the NSFWs. That was our first NSFW pod, and I know a lot of people were eating that one up, and I got a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people saying that they wanted us to continue those. So we ended up making that another one of our like seasonal little fucking pods that we do, where me, Darian, Jake, and Brian link up, and then we just do dumb shit and just have fun and hang out.
This one was fire.
Yeah, with Mr. O'Day.
Mr. O'Day was fire.
Number
bro.
29. This is another pod that hit well over a G. It was 1.3 thousand views, 13 comments, a lot of likes, 42. People were just really fucking with this one because it was Mr. O'Day. So like, I feel like with our pods, like we have like groups or like niches of people that really tap into the pod for a specific reason. This pod was like all of our like old like acquaintances from like Myers. It was like all the students from like that weird time of life that all tapped in to view this pod. And I remember a lot of people I went to school with at the time, even people that I wasn't like really friends with or close to at all, like hit me up like, yo, I seen that pod you do with Mr. O'Day. That was so sick. Like, I love Mr. O'Day. He was like the best teacher I ever had. That's like was a common theme throughout like the week that pod was up. It was just everybody hitting us up like, yo, Mr. O'Day is so sick. Like, and that was such a great conversation. Like that, I vividly remember like that was just a really good and fun and interesting conversation. Like everything about that pod I enjoyed. Besides, I think there was some shit going on with that one, wasn't there? Like we like I don't know. I remember like something was going on with that pod. Like it was either like hard to set up or like we had some shit going on or there was something. But we finally made it happen and then it ended up being a banger.
Oh yeah, we were trying to get O'Day for a long time.
But some shit, I don't remember vividly what it was, but some shit was going on.
Yeah, and then we finally made it happen and it freaking went off.
Yeah, shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Then we had fucking...
We got to have him back on the pod once we like travel a whole bunch and once we get a whole lot more like life experience.
Bring some more travel stories to fucking to Mr. O'Day. Because that was just a fun pod. We did it in GAR, like just nobody was there. It was just so interesting. And that was at a cool time because the follow-up episode, like this is something I kind of want to branch off and like talk about these moments, was like shout out everybody who was there and took a part for our Thanksgiving giveaway that we did.
Bro.
With the Turkey Day giveaway we did. Episode 30, and I'll get back to 31, but episode 30, and then in the middle of 31 and 32 in our podcast, what do you call this shit? Like folder on YouTube? Like the, what do you fucking call that thing? Like, I don't know, I'm going to butcher it, try to figure it out. But like the playlist on YouTube, like with all of our podcasts, and we'll have like a random one in there that just is a Thanksgiving giveaway recap where like we shouted out everybody who donated to us, but it was like podcast style where we sit down and talk about it, kind of similar to like what we're doing right now. But
how the hell did Brian weasel himself in that podcast?
Fucking Lord knows. I think we were just up here talking and like we were about to film and we were just like, fuck it, do you just want to hang out with us while we did it or whatever? And Brian ended up being on that one. So yeah, shout out literally everybody that took part of that.
Shout out Brian, he helped us a whole lot.
We gotta do that shit again this year, right?
Yeah.
We gotta Thanksgiving time. Yeah. Now we're locked in. I think we even said on this pod that we wanted to do it bigger next year. So we'll as the times come about, we'll try to figure out a better way we can do that. Shout out everybody that donated money. We raised like $1,400 that day. And shout out Mondo again. Mondo dropped a crazy donation of like $400 or $500.
Yeah.
And just crazy, bro. Like I remember like this was the point in the podcast for me, like when all this shit was going on, like the like November to like, or the October, November, December time of last year, like when shit really started to feel real. Because we had like crazy shit just back to back to back to back going on. Now it's just kind of normal, but like back then, just got done with the Isaac giveaway. Then we jumped right into this Thanksgiving giveaway, trying to fucking feed 100 people for Thanksgiving. And shout out Jake, Brian, and Xavier for being there and helping us with all that.
Turkey.
Yeah, the fam, everybody, my mom,
Seth.
Everybody that helped us. Seth, shout out all you guys.
We made that happen, bro. We actually fed 100 people that year.
Yeah, crazy. Do you remember how fucking good that felt? Like how good just everything
amazing.
about that day. I gotta take this fucking headset off. It's driving me crazy. But how crazy, like, just that whole thing was. I remember carrying the boxes of food, like, into Seth's joint. We were chefing that shit up, beating up the pot.
Going to Sam's Club with your mom and having to like think about, all right, what do I need? How much do we need? How much is going to feed 100 people?
Yeah.
You know.
I'll put a little clip of that right here. Bing.
Yeah.
So you guys could see that we were grinding. We were in the kitchen for 3 hours, cooking everything.
Man, bro, that whole day we worked that whole entire day.
Yeah.
We worked the entire day, and then the entire next day.
It was back to back, so yeah, like the whole day. It was like
and
Thanksgiving Eve.
We came home and we did a podcast with
with Cam and Eli.
Yeah.
So then we had that same whole day. We have our episode 30, which is only 27 minutes that we did with Cam and Eli, Darian's younger brother and my younger nephew. We did that podcast. That whole day we were grinding, preparing, packaging, fucking.
We gotta do that again, bro.
Yeah, bro, that was such a fun time. Like even like with the whole like the whole thing, that whole, I don't know even how to explain it. That whole fucking project was just so cool. Like everything about it just, it felt like we were really doing something special. Like you remember going to fucking Shields and we just tipped that girl $20. Like felt like Mr. Beast. Like walking there, we're tipping $20 bills. It felt like Mr. Beast, bro. Like. That shit was crazy. Just everything about that was so cool. So hold us accountable. We want to do another one of those this year. Hopefully we can raise even more money. Fucking make us work. We'll figure it the fuck out. But yeah, that was such a fun giveaway. And then you jump right into
Reverend Sean Walker.
Then we had Rev Sean Walker on, which is a banger pod. Sean Walker is just a great talker.
Savage of a dude, bro.
This is another one that I think did pretty well. Yeah, 432 views. A lot of people were fucking with Sean Walker. He's a big time guy around here. A lot of people know his name through like the youth coaching and like whatnot. Him being a reverend and working with the school district and the kids. And Sean Walker's another really dope guy. That was a fun podcast. Then we had Bill Corcoran. That guy.
That's another one of those like points where it's like, yo, wow.
Like that whole arc was crazy because that's like another thing we could jump into is like we had Bill on our show. Well, we reached out to Bill. Initially, just randomly, I hit him up one day.
Connected us. Oh,
well, no,
yeah.
Right, I hit him up randomly one day, and it was like, at this time, like, me and Darren had like fucking probably like 50 subscribers. We had like 50 subscribers on the podcast. Or no, I don't know. Maybe we had a little bit more than that. But maybe like we hit like our first 100 or something. But we felt like we were the shit, bro. And at that time, we didn't know of nobody else in this area doing podcasts. So like we thought that we were the top dog, hot shit. Like it was us. But then we found out about Bill and on the stacks and everything he had going on. And I was like, fuck, bro. Like, that kind of made me realize, like, all right, so this shit's definitely possible then. Like, we could do this in this area and blow up and do, like, something similar to, like, what he's doing because he had really good quality and he was talking to a lot of business owners. So Bill was a really cool guy. I reached out to him. I was like, see you at the top, bro. Like, we'll make a connection at some point or whatever. I forget how I worded it or what I said, but, like, I see what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing just for the podcast game and see you at the top. And then we ended up making a really good friend and connection out of that. We also ended up joining his podcast. That'll be linked in the description if you want to check that out. We went on his podcast. We were talking our shit. That was super fun. And then we did a giveaway with him where we partnered with Gemini Kicks again. We got a PS5. And then we did our PS5 giveaway.
And that changed the game, bro.
Yeah, the PS5 giveaway is crazy.
That took us from like 250 subs to
500.
To 500.
Yeah, we literally we jumped
doubled.
like, we doubled our subscribers. We jumped like 250 subscribers in like a week, right?
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane. We want to do more of that, but it's like what we were talking about. Our priorities right now are to focus on like
creating
and staying like that, but also like investing more money into our equipment and our cameras and doing those kinds of things. So we have to like kind of take a pause. We can't be blowing money on giveaways here, blowing money on equipment here. It's just like I'm not made of money. He's not made of money. It's just not how it works. So we have to keep grinding. We want to do a whole lot more of those though. Like I want to give away 100 more PS5s. Like I want to be able to do shit like that forever.
Yeah, it's crazy because bro, Bill just had Bo Nickel on his podcast.
Yeah, shout out fucking Bill again and just the work ethic, their whole team, Eric, Curtis, all of them guys for putting that together. Bo Nickel, like that was crazy. That shit got like 20K views. Like that's nuts to think about. Like somebody from our area is really doing shit like that.
Yeah, they did that, bro. That was pretty damn awesome. Pretty damn awesome.
But yeah, guys, we plan to do more of those in the future. That's, again, a connection we'll probably have for a long time. Once our podcast hits 1 million, Bill's podcast at 1 million, we'll do another one. Like, it'll just be, that's cool, because now we both get to see. Like, we both get engaged, and we can grow and spit ideas. And I enjoy talking to Bill a lot. He's a cool cat, behind the scenes. And we had my 21st birthday pod. What a night that fucking...
Oh, man, that was a great night, man.
Yeah.
That podcast
is crazy.
See what happened in that one.
So this is our first NSFW pod that like we really like got loose on. Like we were all drunk as fuck. Well, besides Darien because he don't drink. We all got fucked up on this pod. But then in this pod, I know a lot of people were fucking with it too. So they were like, you guys got to continue these NSFW pods. And I really enjoy the NSFWs.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Those are some of my favorite pods.
Next we had Mia Hopkins, bro.
Mia
We
Hopkins.
had a goddamn globetrotter.
Yeah,
on the
Harlem
pod.
Globetrotter. Which is a connection again. Shout out Bill. Like he
made that
connected
happen.
us, made that happen. That's like one of the cool parts about podcasting is like the networking that you get from meeting and talking to certain people that'll lead you to meeting and talking to other people. Yeah, I fucking hate these chairs.
We gotta get new chairs,
I was just
bro.
gonna say we gotta invest in new equipment. 'cause
I'm over
my-
lumbar is taking a
I
fucking toll right
I
now.
was just about to say the same shit.
I gotta do some yoga while I'm up here.
Yeah, some fucking GG stretching. That would be the next
GG
page.
stretch team?
The GG stretch team. Yeah, we have Mia on the pod. Shout out Mia.
Shout out to the Harlem Globetrotter.
She's still creating some cool content too.
She is.
Go follow Mia Mighty Hopkins on Twitter. I don't know her exact app, but go follow her on IG because she's been posting a lot of cool content. She's been traveling around with the Globetrotters, and I believe they're in Italy right now or France or somewhere.
Crazy, making
Somewhere
it crazy.
cool. Yeah, making it happen. Then we had our like kind of like similar to this. We did a pod for Corporate Nightmares. It was our 4th episode where we kind of talked about some of these things, like
Oh,
a
man,
lot
we
of the
talked-
same shit that we're talking about now.
We talked a lot of shit on that pod, bro. We
Yeah.
talked about some 10K subs.
But-
We talked about some 10K in the bank account.
Yeah, we did. We're talking about a lot of shit, but like besides the shit that hasn't came true yet, I remember a lot of the shit we were talking about, and even that night, like I remember when you dropped me off that night, just the shit that we were talking about, and like a lot of that shit ended up raining true into the new year, like all the traveling and setting up all these plans that we wanted to do. We are trying, and we're still attempting to do that. We did that. I was talking about like grinding, taking like it very serious in the gym this year, grinding. That was true. There was a lot of shit we talked about in this pod that was like shit that ended up raining true into this new year. And there's a lot of shit that we didn't achieve yet that we still want to achieve, like hitting 10K. Fucking Lord knows what could happen. We didn't hit even a K in the first couple of months, but we can fucking be at 50K by the end of the year. There's no telling what will happen.
I gotta text Keith.
What?
Because he's supposed to help me with my brakes.
I'm dead. What the fuck made you think about your brakes?
Because we're going to Texas, and we're taking my car to Texas to the airport.
Are we? Oh yeah, we are.
So I need my brakes set up.
Well, good luck making that happen by then. That's hilarious. Come on, guys, help us get Darian's brake changed. If any of you guys out there,
right here. It's like, no, do not put that there.
if any of you guys know how to change your fucking padded brakes, bro, hit us up. Yeah, we're going to Dallas. We fucking need some brakes to get there, don't we? Oh yeah, another NSFW. That was the one. That was the one that shit happened with DeMar Hamlin. This one right here. Notice how morbid we all are. Talking about Andrew Tate, high school memories. Tatum
The high school
Master.
memories were hilarious.
Oh yeah, bro, that was
Remember
a
we
segment.
turned the headphone
Oh
off?
yeah, you
Or we
have
turned the
to.
mics
You
off?
have to. Shout out a few of those motherfuckers though, because that was a wild time of life. Then we had Kyle Reed. Fucking, that was a cool pod. I feel like a lot of them are bleeding together now. Like I'm starting to like fucking
remember it.
Yeah,
it's
remember
it's
everything.
starting to make sense. Like we're currently in this,
Yeah.
or just maybe leaving this arc right here.
So it's like a lot of these I still like remember pretty well.
Yeah, guys, make sure if you do like this episode.
What a crazy like Kyle Reed's a really cool guy. I think
He's
that,
savage.
that was the first pod I believe that we had actual clips for.
Yeah, that might be true.
So,
That definitely might
or
be
no,
true.
I'm lying. It was this pod. It was our
Yeah.
first pod with clips. Then we had clips. The NSF or not the NSFW. The number 35 Corporate Nightmares. We had clips for that. We had clips for fucking James Delaney making a fucking appearance. Yeah, that was a fun pod. Cool setup. Like going to NEP
Yeah, hell
MMA,
yeah.
seeing that for the first time, and like setting up there, doing that one there. That was cool. And then we had Mike from Devin Diamond Co. on.
The top performing clip that we
I've ever, at least on Instagram, we
Check it.
posted. I think that shit's like over 6,000 views. It has like 600 likes. Like we get still updates in our feed all the time from like people liking and following and viewing just based off that clip. It was the one where you brought out the fake Rolex, like where your fake Rolex got exposed.
Let's see. I think it has. I think honestly, by now it should have over 700.
What, like likes?
Yes, that might be the truth.
So like viral in our standards, like we don't have no fucking million view clips yet, but that one is like nearing 10,000 views, like crazy. This is a random clip, but that was a really good structured clip. Like if you really think about it, how it's set up and how it all like, unfolded, it makes sense as to why that clip did as good as it did.
I gotta find it.
That shit. I mean, here I'll find it. It's like,
Cut my watch.
oh, that's
Kevin
right,
and
that
Darren may or may not get a slap.
Ooh.
Oh.
My bad. Forgot I was on there.
shit. Find it yet?
No.
I'll find that shit. Give me a second. GG Gaming. Why am I on GG Gaming right now?
guys. We love you. Oh, here it is. So I brought a diamond tester.
Okay.
No, I'm
okay.
lying. I'm kidding.
I'm cool with that.
I just want to see if you're confident with it. But, I do have this. I found this Rolex when I bought this house, right?
Okay.
And I was wondering, because you probably have an eye.
If it's real or not?
Yeah, do you know if this is real? I found it in my
Here, I'll
house.
plug that bing right here.
And I was wondering if you got a
Yeah,
keen eye.
no.
Not a real one?
No.
Damn, how do you know? Off the ripski.
I mean,
Busted.
Busted.
I'll just be honest.
Busted.
It's just
clip.
even the weight of it.
That was like the start of like the clips, like fucking. Then we had old Zach Man Kornfeld on. Shout out Pac-Man, Zach Man. That's my guy.
Way off. This
remember
isn't
that
even a
night,
good
bro,
fit.
that very night, right after the pod,
Yeah.
shit stayed true.
Yep.
We pulled up to Zach Kornfeld's house that night
Got
after
the
that
first-
pod.
the first plunge.
First GG ice plunge, bro. I remember being that motherfucker like Goggins. I'm like,
If I'm
like
being
holding it together, bro. Trying not to like collapse. Like all these people watching me in this fucking cold plunge, like trying to see if I pussy out or like don't do it or just how I react to it. We both did 2.5 minutes that night too.
No, we did 3, I think. I think we went
Did we?
for more.
Damn, bro. We gotta get back in that cold plunge. It's been a hot minute.
Yo,
It's
hold
been
on.
a cold minute.
I gotta show you guys something. We gotta put on there. Shout out Rico.
Watch
I
it.
saw Rico's.
Watch the music though, because I don't want to get copyright struck.
What am I doing again? Oh, I want to put this screenshot up on the pod.
Shout out to Clips, guys. Daily Clips. Make sure to tap in. Instagram at Go Podcast.
Zach Kornfeld.
What's it called?
Check this out.
At the Go Getters Podcast on Facebook. Obviously the YouTube channel. What's our Twitter name? I forget.
Some post this right here.
At Go Getters Podcast on TikTok too. Daily Clips. Tap
I
in.
might have sent you this. This clip.
Which one is it?
It's Zach Kornfeld's.
Is it the beach camping or whatever?
No, it is. Oh fuck! I can't think.
It's hard to fucking manage this tech trying to find these clips.
It's like the
at same time.
leaderboards of his sales, and he's already sold $6,886.
Yeah, so on
you
that,
post that.
yeah, it's
Right
crowd.
there.
Yeah, send me a screenshot. Bing. Damn, I'm gonna be working for this pod, bro. Because I don't know how much we talked about it in that pod, but Zach talked a lot about his grit marketing, the door-to-door sales that they do, and how successful they've been in terms of their revenue and all that stuff. They're actually currently down there right now. So
Knocking. Damn right.
knocking, getting after that D2D shit. Crazy. Then we had we did our first ever football game pod. Come on, Eagles. Like, what happened? We were really pulling for you guys too in this pod. I love my birds. Episode 40, we did the Eagles versus Giants, the divisional round playoff game, which the Eagles annihilated the Giants. We ended up fucking losing that Super Bowl, bro. That shit is gnarly.
Yeah, not good.
Not good. Darian was asleep on the floor by the end of this pod.
Let me see.
Hold on. Look at it.
You said I was punch drunk?
Look at you. I remember one part you were like laying on the floor. Yeah, you're like literally
You
asleep.
should clip that. You should clip that. Post that.
Well, here's at least a picture.
Hold on, wait.
Bing!
What do we got, number 41 next?
Yes.
Uncle Matt, the return of Uncle Matt. Him and I went on an 8-mile run that day.
Yeah.
Right before the pod.
Right before the pod.
Yeah.
And then
Hold
Derek.
on.
Huh.
Wait, are you talking about number 42 or what? Or 43?
No, 41. I'm still talking about that one. Matt, that pod, we fucking violated Uncle Matt because Matt's like a very like stoic philosophy-driven kind of guy where he likes talking about like the inner workings of like the world, society, men, just humans in general. On this pod, we were talking about fucking aliens, the deep dark.
How
fucking,
to attack a crocodile.
Yeah, how to attack crocodiles and shit. We're wearing mustaches and Mario hats. Like, yo, that Mario movie too. Shout out Mario,
Fire,
bro. We
bro.
went and
So
seen
fun.
that.
I'd go watch it again.
Yeah, I would too, bro. We watched the Super Mario Bros. Movie. That's in theaters right now. Last night, me, him, Brian, and Xavier went to see it. That shit is like, if your childhood exploded. That's like what that shit was for me. I was a huge Mario fan growing up my whole life, like playing all the video games. Like name a Mario game, I'd be surprised if I didn't play it. And we went and saw that movie. Like what a fucking blast from the past, like the childhood that shit was. But then we had
another UFC.
Another UFC, Volk versus Islam. Huh?
Marsha meat, a turkey, jargon, flounder, Marsha, flounder.
Yo.
44?
I don't know what happened.
Corporate nightmares. What just happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like a fucking break in the time-space continuum.
Yep.
Fucking 44, though, we had Corporate Nightmares number 5. That's like, Corporate
What are we
Nightmares
talking about on that one? Click that one.
That's a good point. This is a very recent pod. I don't know why I can't remember. I don't think, we didn't title this one. We just typed Corporate Nightmares Pod. Oh, we were playing chess.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, I remember this pod was cool. And we actually had I had a lot of good feedback on that specific part where we were talking about, or we were playing chess and we were talking about you remember the clip where we were talking about mastering communication through learning how to learn how to talk fluidly, hold a valid conversation while also simultaneously thinking about moving chess pieces on the chessboard. I had a lot of good feedback from that clip in that moment of the pod specifically, because a lot of people thought that was actually a pretty cool thought, or just a cool the fuck, oh, there it is. A cool part of that pod. Then we're getting down to the wire here, guys. We're very, very, very close to the end of these pods.
Now we're at 45.
This is actually more of a hassle than I thought it would be to get through all these pods. I thought we would do this shit quicker. Then we had
That's crazy. John Jones came back and finished Good Buddy.
I know, on the Go Getters podcast. I only
finished him.
What was John Jones' last fight in the UFC?
Oh man.
It wasn't against John Jones or DC, right? I know I watched I didn't watch it live, but I watched it the day after a recording of the John Jones versus DC fight. That was right at the time where I started to really get involved in UFC, and I really started to enjoy UFC. And until that point, I never got to watch a live John Jones fight. Yeah. So it's so cool that forever in history we'll be able to come back to this point, number 45, and be able to relive watching John Jones come back to the UFC in crazy fashion, need I add. Fucking fuck you in the spoilers if you didn't see it already. But John Jones came in and finished Cyril Gane round 1 in what was it, a minute or two? It was a minute or two.
Guillotine.
Yeah.
Wild.
Bro, insane fashion. I'm so happy I was a part of it sounds corny, but I feel I'm so happy to be a part of a moment like that, because I feel that's just such a monumental moment in UFC history, and something a moment that not a lot of people may have seen or witnessed live, and was that stunned. There was a lot of those moments that we had, the Leon Usman head kick.
Yeah, we didn't do that on the pod.
Yeah, we didn't. But seeing some of those moments live is shit in sports history you will never get back. Yep. So, I don't know. I think, shit like that. That's one of the reasons why I really like watching the UFC, because you get to see greatness right before you. Shit that you will probably never see again. The other one that we just passed, Islam versus Volk. What a monumental fight that was in UFC. It's
Yeah, he finished him. Oh,
yeah.
No.
They went to decision.
Yeah, that went to decision, yeah.
Fucking, what a crazy fight. We did, the one UFC pod we did had Islam. That was when he fought Oliveira. Then we had, now this is just all recent, obviously you guys are pretty all currently familiar with these pods. Shout out Terrell, Andrew Scavage, really cool guy. We went and got a workout with him. Very different, it's very different style of workout. His work ethic is really high, and I know he posted recently that I guess they picked a new date and time for their his boxing match, his amateur boxing match that he's taking part in, so that's going to be cool to see and to hear more about. So shout out you, Terrell. That was a really fun episode. Then we had Corey Turner, another really cool cat we're in talk with him a lot behind the scenes, helping us talk and figure out this whole merchandise game, this merge game, because we're trying to, as you guys still know, we talk about it in every pod now, we're trying to drop some merch, and we want it to be good, and we want to not to just be some idiots that do a podcast and come out with basic shirts that nobody gives a fuck about. We want good quality, we want good styles, we want it to be good. We want to do it right. We don't want to just do it the cheap way, take the easy way out. We want to actually put some time in, hard work into it. So we've been in talks a lot with Corey behind the scenes. Shout out Corey. That podcast did pretty well. I know a lot of people were fucking with Corey.
Then the Holy Grail of podcasts.
Yeah, NSFW. That's just watch that pod, please. Actually, I should mention, because I don't think we ever mentioned this to the public, I fucked up in the editing of that pod, and the audio is going to sound very shitty. It's because, like I was talking about earlier on the pod, there's Roadcaster audio, there's camera audio. For some reason, I don't know how this happened, but the camera audio ended up being the audio that was used in that pod. That's why you can really loudly hear the TV, and that's why we don't sound the best. And so just a little update as to why, if you're fucking watching it 2 hours in, that's why the audio is so fucked up in that pod. I never actually announced that to the public. But that was a fun episode. The chicken drop off, and then we had a fun night after that. We went and ate some Redondos. That was just a good vibe night. Then we had where we are up to today. As of today, number 49 Game dropped. 6. We're recording this Thursday, April 6th, I believe. And today we dropped the Coach Dame Sachs pod number 2. That pod's doing really well. So thank you guys all for showing a bunch of love on that pod. Coach Dame's a savage. He has a lot of really cool shit coming up. That was just an overall really cool conversation. Dame's running for county council. So depending, well, this pod drops next Thursday. I don't necessarily know how we can go about helping that whole process yet or what we got to do, but once we figure out more about that, we'll let you know if you guys are interested in voting for Coach Dame for county council. I'm sure he'd greatly appreciate it. We'd appreciate it because knowing Dame, he's savage, and I think he will do right by the community. He'll do a lot for the community. And you guys know us, we're not really political people, so I don't like to dive too much into politics. But he made a good point, especially in the clip that we dropped today, where, like, you don't got to think about politics like the grand scheme, like presidents or all that shit. It's above our pay grade. Like, I don't really care about all that. I mean, I probably should, but it's not for me. But something you really should care about is what's really going on locally. Like, who's in control of your city? Who's making decisions in your city? Like, try to get involved with that one way or another, and that's what he's trying to do. So that's one thing I really respect about Coach Dame. And on that note, all of our podcasts are done. So we have one unavailable video for some reason. I don't know what the fuck that is, but
What is that?
I don't know. I guess the world may never know. So yeah, guys, that's the actual, like, the podcast side of the whole thing.
Here we are, episode 50.
Yeah, episode 50 will drop next Thursday,
Fuck
April
yeah.
13th. We'll be in Dallas, Texas, living large, fucking probably
Hell yeah.
doing pods and taking names down in Dallas
Hell
and
yeah.
seeing a new city and a new state for the first time and just traveling, doing what we're talking about, like just going out and fucking exploring the world and just doing what we want to do, doing what we love, continuing to innovate and talk to bad motherfuckers and travel and just have fun with this whole thing, continue grinding. Like, just because this is episode 50 and it's a cool little celebration episode and I'm smoking my cigar doesn't mean like the work is over by any means. Like, right when I go home tonight, I'm gonna render this pod. Like, it's not like anything's different. It's just back to the fucking, like, episode 51 is just like we're back at number 1 again.
Yeah,
we gotta
here we
do it
go.
again. So next time you see us doing some shit like this, will be at episode 100.
So with all that being said, fucking day one.
Day one?
Here we
One
go.
day or day one?
Start from scratch.
And if, seriously, like, we should probably elaborate on that more. Just fucking do something. Like, whatever you've been holding back, whatever you've been putting off creatively or passionately or whatever you've been putting off in your life, some shit that you're really passionate about that you want to be doing, just go fucking do it. And be consistent with it and keep grinding. And then who knows, we'll fucking invite you on the podcast one day and we'll talk all about it.
Come on.
Let's do it. We're going to keep talking to bad motherfuckers, and we're going to continue to enjoy this whole crazy ride that we're on. Thank you guys for fucking even carrying us to 50 episodes or watching or caring about, liking, following. Shout out literally everybody who took a shot on us and came on the podcast this early on.
Hell yeah.
You bought in early, and I fucking hope you guys continue to enjoy the ride, and this shit's going to be bigger than us one day.
Watch what we do. Just watch.
Just keep watching. Just
watch.
fucking, there's just another episode, guys.
I love you guys. We got 711 of you motherfucking loyal, bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys, man.
It's crazy.
Stay tuned to this journey, bro. It's going to be something special.
It's actually crazy to think, man. That's nuts. And so, like, I don't, like, really ever think about it like that because, or I never try to get, like, too, like, deep into it as, like, how crazy this whole thing is. But this shit is really what I wanted to be doing my whole life. And it's so cool to, like, really be finally able to just, I don't know, be doing this shit. And I'm loving every second of it. Talking to all the, like, the supporters, people that fuck with us, talking to our guests, talking to just people that enjoy watching the podcast. Every time I see somebody I haven't seen in a while, oh, like, how's the podcast doing? Like, how's that going? I get to explain that a little bit. Like, just thank all you guys because this shit is really just the coolest journey in my life so far. And I can't wait to keep doing this shit.
Love.
All right, guys. I guess on that note, we'll fucking close it out.
50.
This was Banger. Shout out again, all you bad motherfuckers that took a chance on us and bought in low.
Yep.
Just fucking continue watching. That's all we gotta say.
50. This is like the fucking beginning stages of this shit, bro. Watch where we're going to take this, bro.
It's gonna be crazy one day when we're at like episode 1000. We're like, yo, you remember episode 50 and like how fucking much we sucked at podcasting back then? It's gonna be crazy, but like we keep saying, we keep talking in circles. Just fucking stay tuned. Buy in low. Join us now while you still got a chance, because when that number keeps rising, it's gonna be easy to get lost in the millions. So why wouldn't you want to be like the 712th subscriber of the podcast? It'd be a cool story to tell.
Come on, you burgers.
You fucking turkey burgers.
Love you guys.
Peace out.